Hey, what's up?
We are back in there like swimwear.
Yeah, and I did notice at the end of that you find it hard to find a clip for Daughter Silence, which I don't blame you.
Yeah, man, that's all
Um,
you're getting. That's if you want to see a clip from Door to Silence, you'll get that, or you can jump on YouTube and watch it.
okay, it's on YouTube, is it?
That's how I watched it.
I
Yeah,
haven't got a physical copy. I downloaded it, but
yeah, it's all over. It's
yeah.
on YouTube. It's not. I mean, you seen the the quality of it, but you know,
Well, spoiler, but I might find some things in that that I do actually like. But I'm
yeah,
excited for tonight because Fulci again, man.
I know
Um,
Fulci didn't like it too much, but
I
it
don't
is
think
what it is.
anyone fucking liked it really. Not even
Right.
the cast members or what have you. But there's some decent stuff in it, which we'll come on to. But
It is, man. It's
yeah,
not. I'm glad I'm glad I got to see it finally. Finally, I've heard about it for a while, but I finally got around to see it the first time. And
he does some interesting things in there, like and knowing
knowing
kind
that's
of
Sporchy's last film, so
right, and the
yeah,
fact that at the time I think he was like kind of seriously ill as well, or just a little bit before then. And what was to come, you can clearly see maybe Fulci was starting to think about his own death in the last film he ever made. So it's
yeah.
interesting in that regard.
You start seeing in these later films like
You do. You do.
things with dealing with death and fate and time and you know,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, we got Justin Marino in here. What's going on, man? The panel of
Hey, what's up,
pain.
man?
What's happening? I see we got
Yeah,
a few
man.
people watching. I appreciate
I
y'all.
was going to say, following on from last week, the end of last week's show, if anyone's in, watching now and they're complete strangers and never ever commented before or anything like that, let us know, man. Even just say hi in this chat. Let us know you're watching, man, because it means a lot. You know, I'd love to see some new names pop up.
Yeah, hit the like. Even just throw a thumbs up or some kind of emoji in the chat. It don't matter. Just to let us
Yeah,
know
don't
that.
be shy. Don't be shy. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. Whatever you do, don't no pressure. Appreciate
Exactly.
you though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, man, this is gonna be cool, man, because we've been like doing tons of Argento. Seem like like
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and
Got to
now
even
we're
it up a
getting
bit, I
just
think.
back to some Fulci, man, and these are three, lesser. I mean, you got this great release from Vinegar Syndrome, MurderRock that they just put out. You
Yeah.
know, which I know this has been out. I had I think it was the blue, was it? Yeah, the Blue Underground, I believe. One of
Yeah,
those.
I didn't even have that one. I got like the
Okay,
old DVD.
it was either Blue Underground or no, I think Lizard in the Woman's Skin's Mondo Macabro, right? So, but yeah, but Severin had put this out. I actually got this copy right here of Enigma.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
got
I
this,
need to pick that one up.
but no, I got this copy particularly from David Gregory.
All right, yeah.
He gave me this one because I bought a bunch of stuff off his table, and he let me pick a couple titles for free. So
Oh man, that's cool.
appreciate the hell out of that.
I need to upgrade this shitty DVD I got, but I did see the actual Blu-ray print,
Yeah,
so I can't comment on that
I
when we
can't
come
remember if
to
I
it.
kept that damn. There was a on the cellophane. I remember on this one it was no, I didn't keep it, but it said it was limited to 3,000. But you know what I mean? Like who knows,
Oh shit, that don't mean nothing nowadays, man.
right?
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
But no,
yeah.
this is cool, man. It's got the soundtrack and everything with it, which
Oh, really? The same track?
yeah, it's got the
Oh
soundtrack.
man, I definitely need to get that then.
Yeah, it's pretty. And you like this score to Enigma?
I mean, like
So
the first two films we're gonna mention, Murder Rock as well. The scores are so cheesy.
yeah,
But not as much as Murder Rock, but I do kind of dig it a little bit. I
yeah,
like that song at the start, which we'll come into, and
yeah. You
yeah,
put on your makeup and shit.
yeah, it's just fucking bizarre, like the way that opens
It
up.
is, man. I was playing that.
Um,
I was irritating the hell out of Grayson playing.
oh man, once that gets stuck in your head, like it's there for
Yeah,
the rest of the
it's kind of
night.
like Murder Rock does the same shit.
I love the score to Murder Rock.
This shit on Murder
Man.
Rock does the same thing.
Oh, I can listen to that all day long.
We got we got Synth Addict in here. He says, "Hey there, just finished Living Dead weekend. See all my current live streams and later uploads in a couple of days. I'll watch your replay." Awesome, man. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Stay busy as hell, but I will check it out, man.
I do click on some of his stuff because he's done a few bits like in the past week as well.
Cool. Hell yeah. Got the mayor in here. I'm waiting for whenever VS puts MurderRock on sale. I don't buy anything from them at full price unless it's on the verge of selling out. I hear you, man, but dude, I gotta say,
this is worth it, man. This is worth it.
I gotta say, I mean, I'm not happy with their customer service right now, but the amount of special features on here, if you're into that, dude, it took me. I mean, of course, I got other things going on, but it took me pretty much all day to get through all this shit. I mean, it's a lot of shit on here. It is crazy.
I pulled mainly from the books, so like that's good that Dirk's watched all that as well because I don't know a lot of that stuff.
It's got the first ever interview with Giancarlo, right? Am I getting his name wrong?
Is it Clecci?
Hold on, it's Gianfranco Clarisi.
Clarisi is I always call it Clecci for some reason.
Gianfranco Clarisi, if I'm saying that right. But anyway, he's like the writer for New York Ripper, Don't Torture a Duckling, House on the Edge of the Park, Cannibal Holocaust. I want to say almost say Apocalypse every time, but no, he's a hell of a writer, man. He's done a ton. He did shit for Diodato. He did Lamberto Baba's Delirium. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's. But this is his first interview. Just for that, I would say that this is worth it. Like just to hear his interview.
Absolutely.
Well, you got to read it, of course. You know. So
yeah, because we were talking about that before we come on air, and some of these guys are getting up there in age, so you need to like.
This might be it.
Yeah. We're lucky. Like Eugenio Ercole is pretty much interviewing anyone and everyone.
Eugenio's killing it, dude. He is killing it on these.
He's so good, man.
Yeah.
And I think he realizes as well that these guys are literally, coming to like I hate to say it, but coming towards the end of their life, and to get as much as he can on record of all these people is great.
Right. Yeah, you've
sorry, I thought I cut you off there.
No, you didn't. You faded out for just a second.
Okay.
Let's see. Death Rattle is on here. Says, what's going on, man? He says, hey, guys, would love to hear Troy Howard's Forgotten Gems from Fulci.
And there you go. Right on cue is the book.
Yeah, man.
Visions,
yeah.
Which, I highly recommend. I know we keep plugging this,
man.
But it is fantastic. Yeah.
Definitely. We got Gord Guts in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
We got Chris C., the Slasher Nerd. He keeps changing his name, man. I have that VS release of MurderRock as well. Hell yeah.
I told him to change it back because he was like the film nerd, I think it was. And I told him to put the slasher back in his name.
Okay. Nicholas C. Day. I thought about grabbing MurderRock from VS. I haven't seen any of these Fulci movies. Okay.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Stay tuned, man, because we're going to go deep in all three of these.
I mean, it's a damn good release, man. And like I said, it's packed. And you get a nice thick book with it, you know.
Yeah. And there's one coming from 88 Films next week
cool
as well.
With the you get the 4K and the Blu-ray, of course.
I like the way they got the slip cover as well, like on top of that, and then you've got the hard box.
Then it goes in that side slip, yeah.
It's it's one of the best releases of the year so far. But I am getting the 88 Films one as well because that's just me.
Yeah, I got a bigger appreciation for MurderRock, maybe because I've seen it like 7 times now. But I don't know.
I love it. I can't wait to talk about it. We covered it on Eurocult once as well on the Ted.
What is that? I don't even remember what that is.
Oh, Eurocrypt. But yeah, no, I know. I love that film, obviously.
Chris says, I just got Howard's book on Fulci. Hell yeah, man. Splinter. You can't go wrong.
Another one I would highly recommend.
Can't go wrong with
the Stephen Thrower book, Beyond Terror.
Yeah, I need to get that.
This weighs a fucking ton, man. It's like his Nightmare USA book.
It's the hardback, too.
Yeah. It's I got this like £20. Like,
damn. Okay. Let's
I'm
see.
sold.
Okay. I should say I haven't seen the 3 being discussed here. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. I highly recommend.
You're up, Chris.
When you come at the end of this stream, you might want to check these out. Certainly 2 of them. I'll say.
The mayor says, I wish that they would dub the interviews as well, or at least have that option as well. Yeah, I could see that could be a little price doing that though. To hire voice actors to to like.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that would work, to be
that'd
honest.
be
But
that'd be a little price, I think. But I mean,
I don't know. The one thing I will say about that release is I don't know why they didn't include the soundtrack. That would have been like the icing on the cake for me personally. I know a
well,
lot of people might not like that soundtrack, but I fucking do, man.
yeah, but I'm sure there's other ways to get that soundtrack. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, but if it's
I
all
understand what you're
included,
saying. But
yeah,
Severin's the one that seems like they always include the soundtrack, right?
right, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure how that goes with Emerson as well. Maybe like because he's died, been passed away now for a few years, so maybe his family own the rights, and it's a bit of a headache, maybe.
Gates of Hell and Beyond are amazing.
Oh
Absolutely.
god, absolutely. Don't expect these
No,
films to be like that, but
no,
yeah.
this is not on that level. But I mean, they're still worth seeing, I would say. The Beyond is my favorite from him. Don't Torture a Duckling. You're a crypt or you're a cult. Apples or oranges.
Euro cult then kind of changes into Euro crypt. Natural
Yeah.
progression, I suppose. But
Well, it's apples
yeah.
or oranges, right? So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean I still enjoy go back listening to those Euro cult
Yeah,
episodes as
we did a
well.
lot of good stuff on here.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed them immensely, man.
But
Don't Torture a Duckling though is Chris's second. That's my number 1. I don't
well,
see that ever getting beat either.
like Fulci, man, like his number 1 was Beatrice Cinci.
Yeah.
Until Don't Torture a Duckling came out. But those are his 2 favorite films he ever made. Was Beatrice Cinci and Don't Torture a Duckling.
Didn't someone try to argue with us once that
Yeah, they were saying that Devil's Honey
is
and
his favorite? Nah.
you got to listen to what Fulci says about Devil's Honey. Like I've listened to several interviews with him talking about it, and he's like, man, I just need to get some money. I need to get back in the game, kind of deal.
And don't let that put you off watch it if you've never seen that film. Oh man,
Yeah.
go out and watch it because that's right. Going to come up. That's definitely maybe that'll come up on our next Fulci. I have to keep that in mind because that's another one I really enjoy.
I would say like check out not just his horror though, man. Like I'd check out some of his other stuff, some of his westerns. I mean, if you're into that, but
Contraband definitely.
Beatrice Cinci's definitely not a horror film. That's a period drama film, but it's damn good, man.
It's got horror elements, though, isn't it?
It does
definitely,
and it's based on a true story. But both of his favorite films both had Thomas Million in them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely, yeah, legend.
Let's see. Chris says I like Devil's Honey. To tell you the truth, he did that after he was really sick for like a few months. Oh yeah, he was sick, like man, for a good minute, dude. He had open heart surgery, like hepatitis. He got that in '83 while they were doing while he was filming Conquest.
I think the complications of that give him like cirrhosis of the liver as well.
Yeah.
So and then to go on and get diabetes. I mean, yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking the way after the last film we're going to mention, he wasn't a happy man even around that time, in the early 90s. But by the time, he did come to an end, I think it was 96, 97. I think he was just a broken man through everything he went through.
Yeah, he looks like he snapped back though in Cat in the Brain, don't he?
Yeah, it does. He looks kind of healthy there.
The Zombie 3, he's like, you look at pictures of, while they're doing Zombie 3, that's bad, dude. He's all like bloated. And,
that's when he had the hepatitis, is it? Or the start of diabetes, maybe. Maybe he had it under control for a while, the diabetes. Yeah. But I know in the end, you heard stories of him, he would forget to take his medication or or maybe
Right.
didn't even want to take his medication. His daughter was with him all the time to try and keep on top of that.
Right.
So yeah, it's very sad, man. But we're here to celebrate, man. We're not on a downer. We're here to celebrate his film.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have like this idea, like that, especially after watching Enigma and everything. Like maybe he's floating around. You know what I'm saying? Like, just,
Well, daughter silent as well. You know, that's kind of he knew what I think he knew what was coming, obviously, and then
right.
yeah, maybe.
Let's see. His B movies are still better than 97% of horror directors. I would
Man,
say.
you couldn't say that any better. That's
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I completely agree.
Where would Fulci rank for you? Like out of your like favorite director?
Probably third.
Third?
Like everyone knows, yeah, Argento.
Okay.
I would probably put Martino second, just because I love like this.
Okay.
He did a run of about 5 or 6 films in a space of a few years.
Yeah.
Fulci's got a lot of misfires. Well, as they probably all have, but I'm kind of more forgiving with most of Argento's misfires. Or but yeah, on another day he could be second.
You got him third though. That's good.
Yeah, I mean he could be second on another day. It's not much in it between.
I got Fulci third as well though.
Yeah, because you got Kubrick number 1.
I got Kubrick, and then it's Mario Bava, and then it's Lucio Fulci. So
yeah.
For me, so.
But every film he's ever done, even if they're bad, it's Lucio Fulci in it. You know, you're gonna find interesting things in there. Like Argento's friggin' Dracula 3D and stuff. There's still decent shots in there. Like, but you've got to watch a lot of shit first to get to them. But yeah, it's Fulci. So
let's see. We got Nicholas saying Contraband was wild as hell. I love that movie. Hell yeah, man. I dig it a lot too. I really do.
I didn't love it, but I liked it for what it was.
I do. I could say I love Contraband because it does some shit in there that's pretty rough, dude. Like you're like, what the something you don't expect on the telephone. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say
that's
pretty hardcore, man. Like, but the mayor says hopefully Severin or BS will do a 4K of Beatrice Cinci. Still need to get that Master Time in 4 for the Apocalypse. Yeah,
I'm sure they're coming, man. Sure.
I think what that Beatrice Cinci I have is I think that's 88 films.
It is. Yeah.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty good transfer on there.
That's got Troy Howarth commentary, I think, haven't it?
Yeah.
I thought I was misremembering that then.
Definitely. Let's see. Yeah, because Troy recommended that one to me. He's like, man, you got to check that out. Like, you got to see that. And I was like, well, hell yeah. I'm on it.
I think that's his favorite film by Fulci as well. Yeah. That, and I think Don't Torture Duckling, maybe?
Yeah, I think Don't Torture is.
Oh, okay.
Could be. I don't know. One of them two is.
Yeah.
Let's see. That release of Cat in the Brain has a special feature of his final appearance at a comp.
Yep. Yeah, that was the New York one, I think. Fangoria.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. But it was good to see that, actually, to see his whole face light up when he realized how many people were just there for him. So he did kind of see it towards the end. Not as much as he should have, but he did get some kind of, seen some of the fandom.
Right. Well, man, I guess we're going to get into it. I'm going to hold off on the comments for just a minute. And, we're going to get into MurderRock, man. So I'm going to play it like I've been doing. I'm going to play the first clip, and then we'll jump off into it. But I got a couple clips from MurderRock, so we'll play the first one. And, nose diving in this damn thing, man. Here we go.
We'll stay the night.
God forbid. Listen, my parents went out to a party.
You mean we can go to your house? I'll take a quick shower and wait for you outside.
Okay. Hurry up, though. You've less than 10 minutes.
probably saw him in some ad or another billboard.
Man, I can't wait to talk about this one. This is one of my favorites, man.
Hell yeah.
And I see what you did there because you didn't want to get a copy strike with the music.
Yeah. Well, I still chop it up like that anyway because I try not to do so much in a row. But
no, it gives a good flavor about the film if people haven't seen it.
Oddly enough, though, Fulci didn't like that. He was kind of made to do that flash dance scene. Well,
I mean, the opening 10 minutes is fucking 2 numbers, isn't it?
That took that first. So that's like the opening, right? That dance scene, the big one with all of them. That took 3 weeks 3 or 4 weeks to shoot.
That don't surprise me because you can clearly see the body doubles, on the DVD you can still see it, but Fulci did it brilliantly where he kind of mixed the two in. But on the Blu-ray, even though it's not, I will say the quality is not, or the 4K is not that great above the, with the Blu-ray, but you can definitely see more where they've put different actors in with the guy with the blonde wig and all. But we're going to come into that. I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Oh, you're good. How do you want to go about? I don't really have a formal,
Well, first off, we are going to do spoilers, for probably all 3 films. We're not going to give away the killer in this, but we're going to, we're pretty much going to give certain things away.
I definitely didn't want to spoil MurderRock because I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Because I was hearing some people were on the fence about getting this edition. This is Fulci's last giallo. You know what I'm saying? This is his last installment in the giallo genre. And to me, it might be his last best film, in a way.
But then you've got Enigma as well, which I like. Again,
I don't think it compares to MurderRock. To me, you don't. But
it's not as good, no. But
that's what I'm saying. I think this is where it ends. Everything else is still good. You know what I mean? But
I think his high point is 82.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's kind of caps off his. To me, if this was his last film, that'd be
No, I completely understand. It's this is way better than something say
better
Manhattan
production
Baby.
value. You know what I mean? The money's there. Basically, is what I'm saying. The other films he didn't have as much money, and you can see it. Enigma does, but not like MurderRock. I don't think. But
they're completely different films. But it'd be interesting to put them up against each other. MurderRock wins, obviously, but I mean, Enigma's not a bad film in his filmography, I don't think, at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But the way you want to go about doing this, so we can just do as we normally do and just go through, obviously, the writers, cinematographers, and then we go through the cast if you want.
Right. A lot of what I'm getting at is I don't have a synopsis per se.
Man, we'll probably talk through the first part of the film anyway, so we can set it up anyway, so people know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry so much about
that. Okay.
But so this one was so this come after, I want to say, was it this one after New York Ripper or Manhattan Baby?
It's after Conquest.
Oh yeah, because Conquest in between as well. Yeah. So he went back to his kind of giallo roots with this.
Yeah, well, he wanted a big part of that's because of Augusto Caminito, the producer.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a fan of horror. You know what I mean? So
right, yeah.
He wasn't a fan of the horror, but he loved the eroticism. And so what I was when I was listening, I was figuring hearing that 95% of Italian theaters had pornos in their theaters during his time.
That don't surprise me.
And but the producer loved the eroticism, but he didn't like the splatter gore. So this is a far different film from New York Ripper. It couldn't be that. You know what I mean?
Right, there's no blood in this at all.
Not
Like
much.
very
You
minimal.
got a pin going into women's hearts, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of I mean, the way it's done though, I dig it, man, a lot. Cinematography's pretty damn spot
It
on,
fucking
dude.
looks great, man.
It does,
Like,
dude. Like once you
some
get to like
shots.
really getting into this, like digging into it, it's Baba-esque, like with the half lighting.
Yeah, yeah. I can see
Like
that.
like Drop of Water from Black Sabbath.
Yeah, with
And,
the kind of filters, the color filters he uses.
yeah, like that flashing half lighting, black, dark, and light, and then
Yeah.
also like Blood and Black Lace in that the antique shop scene in Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah.
There's things reminiscent of that, but the cinematographer, I was listening to him also talk about that burn effect when like the murder scene when the detectives show up and
Right.
like the high bright strobe lights and shit are going off. It's like this burn into the camera, like you know what I'm talking about? Like
yeah,
it burns,
I love it.
it
man.
burns the frame out almost, but then it goes back down. But I don't know, I dig it, man.
Oh man, it's highly polished film. I will say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that cinematography, yeah, Giuseppe Pinori.
Yeah.
He did Order of Death, which is like a giallo with Johnny Lydon in from the Sex Pistols. Contamination. He did
Closed Circuit.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that. Yeah,
Closed Circuit, man.
That's a great film that no one ever talks about.
And I highly recommend. I'm championing that film. That was my favorite film that I saw last year out of every film that I saw.
And that definitely inspired Demons, I would say, to some degree.
That's 1978. And nobody talks about it. Severin put it out, and nobody's talking about that film.
Flavio
damn good
Pucci's in that as well from Suspiria.
Yep.
Night Train Murders. So definitely check that one out. Original music by Keith Emerson. Like, how do you feel about this? Because I fucking love this soundtrack. I can play it all the time.
It gets stuck in your head. And I was like, I didn't like it the first time I watched this movie. I got to be honest. It's not really my kind of deal,
Right. Yeah.
But like the more you watch this movie, but I got to say the music don't match what the fuck's going on. Like even that dance sequence we just saw, that song really don't match that dance to me. I don't know. And like at the very beginning of the movie, when the break dancers are break dancing and shit, like that shit don't match that to me,
But that adds to the charm, I think, of the film.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny now, and I dig it, but it's just, I don't know, man. It kind of got to grow on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there playing this shit, and like so on the special features on this MurderRock, when you're on that menu, and there's like 10 or 12 different special features. And on that menu, it's got that music playing. Like, so,
yeah.
So like my wife and my son are like getting irritated. They're like, what the hell? Like, why do you keep hearing it? Like, because I'm like flipping through the special features, But,
oh, shit. Then they want to rock out to that. No.
Yeah. But it gets stuck in your head. Like, it's stuck in my head now, It'll probably be stuck in my head the rest of the fucking week,
Fucking hell, man. But longer probably for me. But he was, so obviously Keith Emerson's well known for doing the score on Inferno, which I love. I think completely contrast, really. Because on this one, it's more like kind of just these songs, whereas Inferno's got the proper theme and all that.
I do like the Emerson stuff, though, like in the suspense sequences.
Oh, man, there's a theme later on, I
love all that shit.
Love that music.
Yeah,
it's great. Music.
It's great.
I'd have to find out if there's a soundtrack release for this one, because on CD or something. Because I'd love to.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Like,
I would imagine
Nathaniel Thompson would know all about that.
He would know.
He'd
be the one to ask for sure. Like,
definitely.
But
so Keith Emerson, he did do the music on Night Hawks as well in 1981. The Sly Stallone film. But if you want to
seen so we were talking about the cinematographer Giuseppe Pinori.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cop Killer, 1983?
No, that's what I was on about. Order of Death is called as well.
Okay.
So it's a giallo. I do own the DVD. It's a giallo with the lead singer of the Sex Pistols, and he plays kind of like, I think he plays like a really nasty character in that.
Now, I also got to mention he worked with Fulci prior to this on Warriors of the Year 2072.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a fun, like, futuristic kind of giallo in a way.
That keeps coming up when I was doing research for these films, like actors and different.
There's a
members
damn
of the
good
crew
giallo
and-
sequence that I know you dig, man. If you check it out, you'd be like, "What the hell?" But
Yeah, I remember you talking about it before when you did a stream.
it's like toward the beginning of the film. But yeah, it's
I think
definitely
Troy's mentioned that as well, haven't he? Troy said about that too.
yeah.
In terms of, I think the casting to this is superb. I love the cast to this film. So you've got Olga Kalatos, would you say? I don't know how to pronounce it. She plays Candice Norman. And she was in like Miami Vice TV show.
Oh, Carlatos?
Kalatos, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's well known, obviously, for the
Zombie.
Splinter scene in Zombie. She's played Prince's mother in Purple Rain,
which is
that
crazy.
was kind of a more kind of mainstream.
That's
thing
probably
she
her
did.
biggest film, if you think internationally.
Yeah. Well, she did Once Upon a Time in America, which is a big one as well. Kioma. So she did do a few good things. I know, like
She's a damn good actress.
Troy did. I don't think Troy liked her acting.
I thought she was great in this film, personally.
I mean, for what it is, for the material you get to work with, I think she does a good job.
Yeah.
But she's a retired Greek actress. She went on to become a Bermudian lawyer. She had a brief singing career as well, recorded an EP and singles in French and Italian. But she kind of just went off the scene. I think she might have gone into producing as well. I'm not sure. You've got Ray Lovelock, who just elevates any fucking film he's in. For me, personally, he plays George Webb. Oh man, you could go through his film. Private Crimes, he did. TV series with Sergio Martino. Play Motel. Last House on the Beach. Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man. Autopsy, Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Almost Human, one of my faves.
Living
Oasis
Dead
of Fear,
might be
one of
my
my
favorite
faves.
role of his.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see that.
I think that's might be his strongest role. I don't think that's his favorite film, but it might be my favorite.
My favorite, I think, is either Oasis of Fear or Almost Human. Well, he riffs off Thomas Millian.
I like Almost Human. I love Almost Human, but it's that character is kind of like you just want to slap the shit out of.
Well, you see those characters, like you say, so, and they, weirdly enough, him and Thomas Milan started a band together before they even was in any films.
Yeah.
And they would sing and write music and play music together, which is kind of blows my mind because I'd love to hear some of that.
Oh shit! The mayor says, he says, I found the CD soundtrack to MurderRock on Amazon. It says it's an import, so you should be able to find it on Amazon UK, Darren.
I will look into that as soon as we're done tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, mate. Yeah. Cheers for that. So Ray Lovelock, he was Italian actor, musician of British descent. He was born to an Italian mother and a British father. He was bilingual in English, Italian. That's why he got a lot of his roles, because he could do both. And in the late 1960s, he was performing in his band, the Tommy Scott Group, and they released singles. And I think one was called Let's Shake. And he was married to actress Giola Scola as well. Sadly, he died of cancer at the age of just 67. Yeah, man.
What was was Private Crimes the last thing he did with Edwidge? Like, was that the last stuff he was doing? Because I know he did a lot of TV work.
He did, yeah. I think he did. He probably did stuff after, but that was the last main kind of thing I've got written down for him. He did start off his career as well with Django Kill. If you live, shoot.
I could actually see that, man. The westerns.
He's got that kind of flexible like quality about him. You could put him in any kind of genre, which he did. He did all of it. He did police tasky, giallos, westerns. He has got that kind of likableness about him. You got Claudio Casanelli. I mean, we've spoke about him in past. I know Dirk feels the same as me. Like, I think he's a wonderful actor, man.
Yeah, dude, he elevates any film, I think. In this one, he kind of takes a back seat, though.
It's an awful role for him, really, if you think about it. He doesn't have a lot to do.
No, but it's still like what he does is, I mean, he's Casanelli, man. He's solid. Whatever. I mean, even playing this bit part, he still does what he,
It's an important part as well. Did you pick up on his dub? So, did Edmund Purdom dub him or what? Because that voice actor sounds to me like the one from Pieces when Edmund Purdom plays the killer in Pieces. I don't know if it was his own voice. Maybe I'm can be completely wrong.
I didn't pick up on it. No, I didn't.
I'd have to talk to Troy or something about that because he's a very distinctive voice. I'm sure I'm sure it was in Pieces, the voice actor as well. But anyway, right, so he did films, The Scorpion with Two Tails, talking to Martino, Great Alligator. Yeah, Martino again.
I like how you bring that one out first.
Yeah, man. I got a whole list and that just came to mind straight away. Right. Slave of the Cannibal Gods. He was a big Martino guy. Suspicious Death of a Minor, which I think is one of his best. What Have You Done to Your Daughters, which I absolutely love in the Four-Girl trilogy. Island and Fishman, I've got down as Island of Mutations, I think they called it as well. Right. Violent Milan, Killer Cop, another guy that could just put his hand to any kind of genre. Hands of Steel, of course, 1986 was his final film.
That was his. That's when he, died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah, he died tragically at just age 46 in a helicopter crash during the making of Hands of Steel in Arizona.
That's crazy to think. That's how old I am, 46.
Yeah. Oh, man, when you think about it deep like that. The crash occurred when the helicopter hit high voltage wires, killing him, the pilot, and a technician as well. So all three on board, which is very sad. That guy, we've mentioned it before, that guy could have gone on and fucking, do you know what I mean? He could have nailed America. He was that good an actor. He could have really...
Definitely, man.
Imagine some of his later roles as well as he got older. Mm-hmm. I think he could have really been something. I won't go too many more, but we got Goretta. She plays Margie. You'll know her, as the prostitute at the beginning of Demons.
Yeah.
And she's exactly the fucking same. It's as if that character is her in this as well. Like the way she fucking talks and everything, which I think was quite funny.
She's in Rats.
Knights of Terror. Shocking Dark. Dominio, Top Model. She did do one called Bloody Christmas in 2012.
Okay.
I know she's very good friends with someone we've done streams with called JT.
Yeah, JT's Horror Discussions.
Yeah, check out his channel, but she talks regularly with him. He's trying to get her into doing an interview.
Right.
She's another one. I think she transitioned into writing and directing as well at one point. So
I heard she I've seen it on the interview. They did on this edition, they did port over some special features from other editions. So she mentions that on here. That she got into directing, and so
I'd have to check some of that stuff out because I've not seen any of her directorial work or anything.
I haven't.
But again, I know I'm going on a bit with the cast, but I've got to mention the last two anyway. So you got Al Cliver, he plays the voice analyst. Everyone will know him, from Fulci films, from The Black Cat, The Zombie Flesh Eaters. He was in The Beyond, obviously. Demonia, House of Clocks, Touch of Death. He was born to Italian parents in Egypt, of all places. He moved to Italy and became a staple in the low-budget Italian productions. He worked, obviously, a lot with Fulci, but he was in a long-term relationship with Annie Bell, and that's the blonde girl from Absurd. And she was in A House on the Edge of the Park as well, the one with David Hess. They played, this really kind of sexy.
And that's another thing he mentioned that he mainly worked with Fulci and D'Amato, and
Right, yeah.
he said that when they both stopped doing films is when he stopped acting.
He
Like,
lost, yeah, he lost interest. Yeah.
Yeah. But they kept him busy between them two.
He's in a lot if you look over the years.
Right.
Last but not least, I want to mention Sylvia Colatina. She plays Molly. She was uncredited. Everyone will just know she's the little girl from Hates by the Cemetery.
Yeah, Deadpit interviewed her not too
Not
long
that
ago.
long ago. Yeah, within the last 6 months, year maybe.
Right.
And she's
Great
what
interview.
I like about her in this role is that's her voice. You can clearly tell that's her voice. I love the sound of her voice.
There's
the Italian accent and everything.
There's 2 interviews on this edition with her too, and they're pretty new, both of them. One's in Italian and the other's in English, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I've seen her do interviews in both actually as well.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. She's a like big horror fan, dude. She embraces the genre. Unlike
I've
a lot
got her
of
on Facebook, and she's always talking about.
Right.
She's. I think she's going to be in a horror convention in the UK as well. In I think like this summer, Weird Worcester, I think it's called. But she kind of interesting because she's a daughter of acclaimed jazz musician Alberto Colatina, and she began acting at the age of 5. But she kind of got out of it a little bit. She did do The Great Alligator. Recently, though, this year, actually, she did one called The Hanging Doll.
Was Casanelli in that one, too? The Great Alligator, right?
Yeah, he was in that, yeah.
I have that over here. I still haven't watched it. I need to crack it open.
That's one we've got to do. We're going to do Martino again anyway, eventually. So, there's, but yeah, so with this film, right, so coming into it, the Italian theatrical title, Murder Rock, Uccidi e Passo di Danza. Translation, Murder Rock, Killing Dance Steps is the UK translation.
Right.
Obviously, the alternative title is Murder Rock, Dancing Death.
Right.
It's called The Demon is Loose in the USA when it came out on, I think, VHS. So that's kind of crazy.
I know a lot of people say that this is like a Flashdance kind of ripoff in a way. But
there's 2 scenes I would say that rip off Flashdance.
Yeah, but I mean, so Garetta, how you is it Garetta or Garetta?
Garetta, I believe, yeah.
So she was saying that it's more of a Fame. You remember that? You remember Fame?
I've got that written down. That's so. You know when there's 2 speeches in the film which we're going to come on to where they're trying to inspire the dancers.
Yeah.
All that's completely lifted from Fame.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same scene.
I guess she would know because I mean, so
yeah. But this did have like some weird titles. So it's called in Brazil of all places. It was translated as New York City of Violence. In New Zealand, Murder at the Academy. So yeah,
only scenes that are, of course, only the exterior shots of the film, and it was like real cold. It was like 18 below.
Right.
18 below, I believe, was the temperature they were saying. It was like extremely cold, but only the exterior shots are in New York. The rest
you can see the snow, can you, on the ground in places like outside the hotel, and
everything else was shot in Rome. So
yeah, which kind of makes sense. But the film was mentioned in Variety for the first time on the 25th of October 1983, and a follow-up article in late November suggested that the film was due to enter production imminently. So it's likely it was shot, say, December 83, going into January 84.
Mm-hmm.
It was declared as finished in Variety on the 9th of May 1984. Although it seems that the film was already released across Italy at the time, which is kind of interesting too. But we will pretty much come into we'll go through the beginning and what have you. We can go to a certain point if you want, Dirk, or we won't give away some of the major.
I don't want to spoil this one. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. So,
right, okay. So the backstory to this then was Fulci. Pretty much, he was approached and he was asked to come out if he's got some kind of project that he got in like a drawer somewhere, which he did, and that's how this kind of come to fruition. He said the film was pretty much improvised really quickly once they started the ball rolling. The production company had earned too much money, and they wanted to write this film off as like a tax, something to do with like, you know, the tax kind of thing, where I guess it was some kind of con where they could overcome paying tax or what have you.
Also, the producer Augusto, he wanted it to be TV friendly, to hit the TV.
I can
TV
see,
market.
because none of the blood. There's not really much blood at all in this.
Yeah, and I guess nudity's good in Italy. So.
Oh yeah, so
so
but Fulci was kind of pissed, wasn't he?
It's sleazy. It's a sleazy little movie, though. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
Fulci was like, because he mentioned in the interview about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where he said there's pretty much more gore and more kind of effects and shit in that than you would see in this.
It is,
and he's kind of right if you think about it.
It definitely is. There's a scene in that Temple of Doom with like a human sacrifice scene where
horror
gets pulled out and shit. That's Spielberg, right? Like, what the hell? But
but Fulci was saying with this as well. He was like, I am the last zombie of Italian cinema, condemned to make 3 films a year in order to survive and shoot them all in 5 weeks, including the American versions in order to save costs. But he used to say, do you know that the House by the Cemetery has taken nearly $8 million in the USA? So when he's making these lesser films to come, he would always bring up that line as if to say, you know, I fucking made, you know, I could make films like that make a hell of a lot of money to try and justify himself. But he didn't. He's Lucio Fulci, and he didn't really have to fucking justify himself to anyone.
No, but I mean, like, it showed, man. Like when he had money backing him, he could put something out that was this one didn't do too well though in the theater. Like,
no, and I can see I can see why it's not going to be for everyone.
But I think he was kind of pigeonholed. Fulci was. He couldn't do exactly what he wanted to do. He had to do what this producer wanted him to do, you know?
Right, yeah. In terms of like the soundtrack as well, like Fulci's got 2 different kind of stories with that. He hated the music.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, I was reading in Troy's book that he did do some kind of interview on the liner notes for the Japanese like CD.
He didn't like the screenplay either.
No.
There's too many damn writers, like too many cooks in the kitchen, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look how many writers are on this film. You got Gianfranco Clarisi, Vincenzo Menino, Roberto Gianventi, and then Fulci.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, and then everything got convoluted and mixed. You know what I mean? Like, and this was gonna be a musical trilogy.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. So this this is the first part, and Fulci, this is what he had in mind. There was going to be 3 films that were going to have music themes, not like a musical, but like it had music themes in each one of these films. But like this didn't do well. It all got shut down. You know what I mean? Like that idea.
Man, I would love to see that.
So then he went. So after this one, it's Enigma, right?
Yeah.
So that took a totally different direction, you know.
It did, which was.
But I was thinking, like, when I found that out, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, that'd have been great to see a music themed trilogy, you know.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I would love to have seen that.
Yeah.
But this was coming off for the outrage as well against the New York Ripper, like a few years before, which just people thought went completely over the top in violence and gore. So I guess that's why this is toned down as well a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you go from New York Ripper at a 10, like say it's at volume 10. This is, I would say, turned down to volume 1. Like, you know,
maybe a 2 or 3 at best.
Okay.
But yeah.
But as far as the sleeves, I mean, but the gore's not there at all. And then Also, Fulci hated the twist ending. That's what
Okay.
he hated
Yeah.
the twist ending of this film. Like that was not what he had in mind. So
I was gonna, yeah, because we're gonna come on to that. I was gonna say to you, like,
right.
did you work? Well, obviously you worked out the killer before the end, but did you work it out early on? Because there's
No,
a couple of shots
no,
where
I didn't figure it out till probably until the third act is when I started figuring it out.
well, there's a cigarette left at one of the death scenes, which
Yeah.
I worked it out that it could only be two people. But yeah, I mean, the first time I watched it, yeah, it's probably I did not work it out till
No.
towards the end.
I didn't until like the third act. I did figure it out in the third act, but that's good enough for me. You know.
But it looks kind of obvious in hindsight, like, I guess everything.
When you watch it again, yeah, you definitely start picking up on shit. So,
but yeah, do you want to go through the film? So we can go through, we can go to a certain point if you want, and then kind of stop where you feel, where you feel it's like appropriate. So the opening is right. So, or just to clarify, the owner of a prestigious New York ballet school teams up with a male model to solve a series of bizarre murders of a few of the students. That's kind of a basic kind of overview. But it opens up with these two musical numbers. The first one's called "Tonight Is Your Night."
I know it puts a lot of people off, right?
For me, it just adds to it. I love it. That I could like the first 10 minutes of this film. I've actually gone back numerous times and just watched that, and then turned it off after.
Yeah, I mean, like at first, I said it already, but at first I was kind of like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then
you've gotta love that fucking breakdown.
But it kind of grows.
The guy's doing the spider and the fucking caterpillar, and that. What I like about that is probably nostalgia for me, because when we was in school, everyone's breakdancing.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the music don't really match it to me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You've got like these ghetto fucking guys dancing. It does not go at all. But
right
enough, it's weirdly enough.
That's probably what Fulci was thinking. That's probably what he's talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't stand that shit, But
that song as well, isn't it? It's like, tonight is the night, yeah. It's fucking so corny and cheesy, but
yeah, it's like I'm about to put on some damn what do you call it, a butterfly collar and and the bell bottom jeans and shit.
Jeez, yeah. And then, not to be outdone by that, it goes straight into like another fucking number, which is great as well. Like, are the streets to blame? And that's where we see all these dance students and they're dancing. And you can clearly tell there's a guy in a fucking blonde wig pretending to be.
And you notice the lyrics. You notice the lyrics to the song. The clue. There's a clue. It's telling basically the story of the film in the lyrics.
I think I did. Yeah, I did slightly pick up on that too. Yeah. But not at first. I never. It's only like, I think maybe last night.
It's after rewatches you start noticing, hey, this shit's telling the whole story of the film pretty much. Like,
but streets to blame, paranoia is coming your way. I fucking love it, man. You've got Goretta from Demons, we mentioned earlier. She's teaching this dance number to a bunch of students, and this is like some of the hottest fucking women you will ever see in a fucking giallo film, man.
So this is something that so Brett Halsey, because I was watching the special features on the Enigma.
Yeah.
Brett Halsey said that Fulci, he said, a lot of people are not going to believe me when I say this, but Fulci was like a chick magnet. Can you believe that shit?
I guess with the power of being a director, maybe.
And then it shows a clip from like Captain the Brain at the end, like at the end of Captain the Brain when he's riding off on his boat,
I guess being a director, you could get your first pick to a lot of these young kind of,
Well, yeah, I mean, actors. Not only that, I dig Fulci's personality. Now we've heard like all the horror stories, all these people that said that he was hard to get along with, but there's a lot of people that said that he wasn't that bad, that he was okay. Like, he's just real matter of fact. He's all about business, and the
way I looked at it is like with Fulci, if he gained your respect, or you gained his respect through your acting and
I
your
think
professionalism,
yeah.
he would warm to you. But
And
if he thought that you was in the part because through nepotism or whatever, he would he would go against you.
And also, if he's seen that, that's one thing that might be one of his flaws. Might have been one of his flaws was if he's seen somebody that was weak, he didn't respect him.
Right? Yeah. He would test you out. Like
Right.
literally
He
early
stood
on,
up
he
to
would
him,
test
then
you.
he respected you. You know.
Exactly. There's some horror stories as well when we come on to Enigma with like a couple of the members. Certainly one of the girls in the cast of Enigma was literally he just picked on her throughout the fucking film, and I don't even think they actually showed her scenes in the film in the end. But we'll come on to that. Right. So you've got this dance number then, Goretta. She's kind of teaching all these dancers. You've got like Christian Borromeo, who I mentioned from Tenebrae, unmistakably with blonde hair. And the cast, so we've got Candice. She's played by the stunning Olga Kalatos.
He was also in House on the Edge of the Park, right?
Yeah, which is probably his best performance. I don't want to give away, but he plays a prominent role in that. It's like a yuppie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is it Kalatos? How do you pronounce it? Olga Kalatos?
Carlatos.
Kalatos, that's what I should. Yeah, I got to remember that.
Yeah.
So she's overlooking this dance routine choreographed by Maggie. She's really hard on them, telling them they need to get better when she clearly knows that they're really killing it. And then it comes into play. Then you got the Claudio Casanelli character. He plays Dick. I mean, it's so funny, this film. If you had a drinking game when Dick and Willie comes up, because that's two characters' names, you would be drunk in the first fucking 20 minutes of this film.
Dick and Willie, yeah.
Dick and Willie. There's lots of Dick and Willie in this film, but not not what you would think.
Not in that way.
But he plays the Academy director, and he's literally, the role is so beneath him. He's too good for the fucking role, man.
Yeah, he's playing a bit part. Guy. It's like a back burner. Even well, I'm not going to say nothing because I'm not going to spoil nothing on this film.
Well, he does play a sleazy character. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You know, and we can say as much as he takes a liking to some of these young girls, which is ironic because in Suspicious Death of a Minor he plays a complete fucking opposite. Like he plays a cop that's going against these people.
Let me catch a chat right quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris says, it's haunting. They showed scenes from Hands of Stone. It's a cursed film.
Hands of Steel, I think he means. Yeah.
And then the mayor says, Fame, I want to live forever. Now that song is stuck in my head.
Well, you've got Fame, you've got Flashdance. They were all kind of the thing at the time.
That song actually goes more with that other song, like that.
And weirdly enough, right, so Flashdance is a song called Maniac, which is going to be included in fucking William Lustig's film, Maniac.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that was the thing at the time. And I can remember, as a young kid,
I remember that shit.
Tuning in every Friday night for Fame. And
I remember
not that I was big on that, but I remember my one sister loved the film, loved the program. Right. And then they actually did do a spin-off with the film and that as well. But it's got that feel, definitely.
And the mayor says Temple of Doom and Poltergeist gore scenes is what led to the PG-13 rating in America.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that as well. Yeah.
I remember films that were PG, man, were like rated R. They'd be considered rated R now. But Nicholas says those movies plus Gremlins, thanks Spielberg. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Chris says, wasn't Red Dawn the first PG-13 film or PG? I'm not sure what was the first. Then he says, Dirk off topic, dumb question, OG family's last name in TCM, I forgot. Slaughter. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
It's Slaughter, not Sawyer. This is off topic, but I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, what? It's the Sawyers. But if you look at Gunnar Hansen, and Kim Hinkle both have said that it was Slaughter in the first Texas Chainsaw. But anyway,
And in the later films, it was Hewitt, I
it's
believe.
Sawyer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind
Right?
of weird. That.
Yes, Sawyer, right?
I
Yeah.
think it's Sawyer in the early ones, but I think it's Hewitt. Maybe
It's
in
Hewitt
the
in the
later ones.
remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you count that fucking
I don't
film,
count
'cause
that
hate-
shit.
I
Let's
hate
see.
that one.
Nicholas said Red Dawn was, I'm pretty sure. Hazy and Fulci were good friends. Halsey. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and he did Such a Death. He did The Devil's Honey. With him.
Yeah. Yeah, they got along great. Even though he didn't know that he was in Cat in the Brain, but they still got along great. But
Right, I don't think anybody knew they were in that because of the.
well, I mean, he was kind of at first a little aggravated about that. But anyway. Chris says the synth group Carpenter Brute has a great Maniac song cover. I highly recommend listening to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Deer Hunter Airplane has nudity and it's rated PG. Yep. That's
I
what I'm saying.
remember Tourist Trap being a PG as well, and that was like 79.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I see Chris saying thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. If you check out Gunnar Hansen has a book, Chainsaw Confidential. He says that in the book. And who else would know better than Leatherface himself? And then Kim Hinkle as well. Kim Hinkle came back, and then Texas Chainsaw 4, which I know a lot of people shit on that one, but Kim Hinkle wrote and directed that one.
Yeah.
Their last name's Slaughter again in part 4. So
I dig some bits of part 4, but
yeah,
without going off onto a tangent.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get sidetracked though. So
no, that's all right, man.
It's all good.
So with this film as well, there's kind of a blue tint to this as well. I've noticed the same as Enigma to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I do actually like that look. The whole look of it is very kind of like trippy at times with the lights, like the Bavares type lights going on. And that's where I think we get that early flashback fame speech as well. Pretty much, it comes up twice, I think it is, in the film. But going on to the first kill, because I think this is kind of interesting. I kind of like this scene. You've got Susan and Willie. They stay on after class, to try and get a bit more practice dancing, but we all know what they really want to practice. But she's played by the actress Angela Lemmerman, and she's like this long blonde hair. She's completely stunning, man. She goes full on like naked. And we see like a shower scene where you've got the black glove killer then.
Ain't that odd though? Like I know I dig the lighting, but ain't that weird? Like you feel like you're in some kind of dream nightmare.
A lot of these death scenes are kind of dream.
Because I mean, who the hell is going to get a shower with the fucking lights going on and off? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
was that a natural thing then? Because
no, man.
I was gonna say it's like automated. It says you got like 15 minutes to get out the building.
Yeah.
No, I was watching. I was bewildered by it, but I thought it might have been a thing.
It kind of takes you out of reality, like like Fulci would say that people go to watch a film, the fantastic films or whatever. They're trying to ignore reality during that time, right? So.
All right, yeah. There's a lot with like pieces as well when you got like the band fucking like music playing, but so you do see the black glove killer. He chloroforms her and stabs her through the breast with like a hat pin, and that's the kind of that's what the murderer uses throughout the film. There's lots of like red herrings. Yeah, pretty much everyone in this film is a suspect at one point. Lieutenant Borges, he turns up to investigate the murder, and then you've got the whole thing then with like
he's great in everything.
He is. I think he elevates the film. That's probably
Cosimo Cinerari.
Yeah. He
I love that scene in Manhattan Baby with him. That shit's hilarious.
Right. Was he in because I was reading on his credits, he was in New York Ripper, but then next to it says rejected. So I'm thinking he went up for the part in New York Ripper as maybe Jack Headley the cop.
I was gonna say because I didn't never see him in that, and he's damn near the same kind of character, except he has a
That's
family.
what I was going to say. It would have worked. I think,
Yeah.
like, if he'd have been in New York Ripper, that would have worked as well. He probably would have actually been better than Jack Headley, but
I don't know. I kind of like Jack Headley. Like,
oh, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'd like to have seen this guy in there.
right.
But yeah, like you say, there's lots of red herrings. Claudio Casanelli's character, like, he's definitely dubbed. He's definitely like, he's got like a really awful dub, but I'm pretty sure, like I said earlier, it's the guy from Pieces that dubbed him. But yeah, so after the first murder, just life goes on as normal in this fucking academy the next day. I know Willie gets like upset, and he's like, "Why are you all dancing? You know, after my girlfriend's been killed." And
speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and play that next clip.
Okay, yeah,
there we go.
That works.
All of you. You just go on dancing without giving a damn that Susan's dead. You don't care to find out who killed her or why she's dead. You don't even think about her now anymore. She's dead? It's no big deal. But we can't stop dancing. Can we?
But success doesn't come easy. You've got to pay for it. You've got to grit your teeth and dance, even when a friend dies.
You're out of it. You'll never get me. Oh, I forgot. I really called to tell you that I got the urge again. Yeah. I'm gonna stick another one of those girls with a pin.
The oscilloscope gives a visual representation of one's voice, like fingerprints, because each voice gives out its own particular pattern.
Hello?
Hi, Candace. It's me, Phil.
Ah, it's you.
Sorry to bother you. I know it's late, but
Tomorrow I'll be out at dawn.
We'll be late.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, when you put those clips in all like that, it's highly, like, I'd say this film's highly entertaining. It's not a masterpiece or anything like that, but if you go in just wanting to see some cheese and just, you know what I mean, like an 80s Giallo as well, it's like unique. There wasn't too many of them around this time either.
I love every one of Fulci's Gialli, like every one of them.
Yeah, I'm me.
I don't think he made a bad one.
I will come into ratings a bit later, and I do. I mean, my rating probably as a film is different to my enjoyment from the film, which I'll mention. But
yeah,
no, he didn't. He doesn't get a recognition, I don't think, for a lot of his Giallo stuff.
Right.
And I think the whole thing with Argento, I think Argento was jealous because if you think about it, Fulci nailed America with Zombie. Argento didn't come close to nailing America.
No,
and I think Argento kind of held that against him.
You got to think about New York Ripper too, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, Manhattan Baby was filmed in America. I know it wasn't a big hit or anything. Mm-hmm. And he did do good stuff. Whereas Argento,
he never got that
Trauma. Yeah, I like Trauma, but exactly
not in America anyway.
Right, exactly. You have got that one scene as well that I think we mentioned before, where you've got this Janice and she does this solo dance in the rain and shit. Like, got the rain effect coming down to her, but you can clearly tell, like Dirk was saying before, and before we come on, it's not the same actress as the stunt double.
Because you see her dancing and she'll be spinning and shit, and
yeah.
And you won't see the top of her, you won't see her head or face, right? And then when you do see her head, it's like in shadow.
Yeah.
So that's like a professional, obviously, you know. But actress is that was a Brazilian actress. Her name was Carla Bazanca.
Okay, yeah.
Carla Bazanca.
She didn't do a lot though, did she? I don't think.
No, but she's beautiful though. So, and the body double that dancer. So, like, you know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of body doubles in this for sure.
Right.
But yeah, that's a great scene. We do have, like, I'm not going to go through a scene for scene from now on, but we will mention some of the stuff to come. So you've got Ray Lovelock. He turns up as this former like male model. I think he's kind of doing adverts or maybe like acting jobs.
Yeah, he's like on billboards and shit.
He's got a great scene when he enters the film for the first time, where he's in this dream sequence, and we kind of they're trying to make out him as this major red herring that he's the killer, because Candice gets visions of him. She does not know him in any way, shape, or form, but she might have just stumbled upon his image somewhere on a billboard or something. All that stuff's kind of cool. The stuff that you showed there with the killer with that accent when he phones in the police is that accent, man, is so fucking like,
right.
There's no way that, like, once you realize what's going on towards the end of the film, there's no fucking way that makes sense. But it is a Fulci film,
right?
But yeah, that I find that kind of shit funny. And the whole love thing as well, where Candice falls for like Ray Lovelock's character, like within 5 minutes they're loved up and having sex and shit, and he's turning up at work.
It happens quick in these in the Giallo, right?
It does, yeah, and he plays George, by the way, is his name in this.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how far you want to go now, but there is, obviously, as in any good Giallo films, there's death scenes that come up all the time within every like 10 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah.
We have got, I will mention Sylvia Colatina plays Molly, and she's like this, she's in like a wheelchair, is it? I believe.
Paralyzed. Yeah.
So that's kind of going back to New York Ripper, I think, a little bit with the girl, in the bed. I love her character. I think I love her accent, and she's like obviously well known for House by the Cemetery, but she nails it, I think, as this young girl, and we don't see her enough. But where she's important in this film is she actually takes a photo of the killer when he strikes her babysitter. And that's another great scene as well, where her babysitter gets killed up and she's pressed up against the window of this house. But yeah, so we're all trying to find out at this point. They think the police think they actually got the killer on film. But then there's a little twist as well with the film slides to see who the killer is, which is kind of fun.
I think that's what I was saying. I don't think Fulci was a fan of that, the twist ending, but
right. I mean, I can see that. To me, I love it. It's just cheese.
I think, like I said, I think his hands were a little tied. He was kind of like forced to do, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do, but.
And you can see like that in this film. It is kind of watered down a little bit. But for me, I just think it's completely different to his other stuff. And I do actually like the fact that they did.
You still see the Fulci all over it. Still.
Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. But the whole ending, like you say, with the twist ending, we won't give it away. But for me, I like that. You've got Ray Lovelock as well, who's heavily, they think, is the killer at one point. I will say that I will give away just that he's not. But then once you find out the killer, there is a scene early on that gives the killer away anyway. In that one sense, Dirk will know what I'm on about. And once people realize, the motive, I shall say, is within 20 minutes, I think 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You might not pick up on it first time watching, because it took me a few watches. But yeah, like you say, then, the final shot I like as well. I'm not going to give away what it is, but it's kind of cool the way they do it. You got the credits play out then at the end. It's got Other Streets to Blame from earlier, and you see that dance sequence again and all that. But the quote, you got the end quote. Often crime is a distorted form of human endeavor by John Huston, The Asphalt Jungle. I don't know if that was a fucking thing. I know Fulci liked to make up these quotes at times for most of his.
Yeah, I remember he did one, and I can't remember what was it, Black Cat? It was like a fake Poe quote. I can't remember.
I think there's one in Enigma as well at the end of Enigma.
Right.
Is it Daughter Silence? It might be Daughter Silence. Yeah. He did it on a lot of his films. He just fucking made shit up as he went.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much a film. I mean, I love it. You know, I highly recommend people who've not seen it.
I've seen Chris saying this film has heavy vibes of New York Ripper. I would say it's kind of, I would say it's kind of like the counterpart of New York
like
Ripper.
The opposite of New York Ripper, but it is. I can see where Chris is coming from, where it's got that kind of with the young girl,
the New York vibe and everything.
Yeah. You could definitely put them together and it would work.
But it's like definitely not as gore heavy, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like kind of like the counterpart to it. So
it is, yeah.
They played well together though, for sure.
Oh god, yeah.
Let's see. I see Lauren's in here. What's going on, man? Good evening.
Hey,
gentlemen.
What's up, Lauren? Gotta mention we'll be on Region 3, hopefully Friday the 13th. So check out Lauren's channel, Visited by Voices, go over and sub.
Yeah, definitely.
Does some great stuff, man. I love his the way he breaks down some of these films, and then he does like Giallo Tropes is one of his last ones as well. Check out his autopsies, superb. So,
and Chris says, I love Fulci's Jolly perversion story, Lizard in Warm Skin, The Psychic, and others. Yeah, definitely.
I can see some of like Lizard in a Woman's Skin as well in this, like some shots. Certainly in the next one too. Yeah,
for sure. All right. Well, cool. Yep. Let's see. Nicholas says, Chris, that Cover Maniac is an all-timer track. CB totally knocked that out of the park.
The Cover Maniac. Oh, he means the cover art, yeah?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. But yeah, man, I guess we're going to get on to the next film. And this is a Enigma. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, I like that cover art, actually.
Kind of dark here, but
Dirk's definitely got the edition to go for. This is just a crappy DVD release.
It's pretty damn solid, but I'm really happy that David Gregory gave me this. Like, you know, like
you said it's got the same track on there as well, yeah?
It's got the soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh man.
I got a Texas Frightmare because I bought several things from him, and he let me pick a couple titles. So this is one I grabbed. But yeah,
is that limited? You said
it said it's limited to 3,000, whatever that means.
Oh man, I need to pick that up.
But yeah, it's got the soundtrack right here. So
nice.
Which I got the movie in my player right now. So. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into Enigma, 1987. I guess you could say that this is Carrie meets Phenomena, Suspiria, Patrick, and another movie called, is it Medusa Touch?
Medusa Touch, yeah.
So like and the Fury, you could say De Palma's Fury, the Fury.
It's like he just picked out like 4 or 5 films and literally just did scenes or like characters and for the plot, really. It's
kind of funny though, like there's a part in the movie like with the guy Jared Martin, the doctor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a like I didn't catch it until like this watch. I've seen this movie several times, man. But like I didn't pick up on it. Maybe I'm like stretching here, but you catch that part where he says, "My name's Robert, but don't call me Bob."
Yeah.
Do you think that's a reference to House by the Cemetery?
House by the Cemetery. I didn't think of it at the time, and now you mention it, probably. Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's Fulci's humor, I think, like shining through.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But here we go, man. I'm gonna show the first clip of Enigma. Here we go.
Put on your makeup, your eyes are blue enough. The night is special for you. Put on your red dress, you gotta look your best.
Why have you stopped the car?
I don't know. Thought we might sort of relax for a while. Wasn't that the idea?
I thought that we were going dancing. Do you really want to go dancing, Kathy?
I don't know. I wanted to call you Fred, only I was afraid. Be gentle with me. Oh, that feels so good. I've waited so long for this moment.
What's your hurry? It feels so lovely. It's lovely.
You know what that's fun of getting in the way when you kiss your boyfriends later tonight, do you?
Something better get in the way when I kiss Tom, or he'd get out of control.
But if you could have seen this flab jiggling the way I just saw it, you wouldn't be laughing. Ha ha.
Ha ha ha. I may have a fat ass, but if you slap it again, I'll slap your face.
How does a young girl who's brain dead experience a violent emotion? Let me know if anything changes.
I'm afraid.
Garlic. Maybe she's a vampire. Oh, no. What kind of guy would make love with a retard like Mary? Obviously. Another retard.
I will say, right, I've always liked this film, but this
Yeah.
time it clicked for me, completely clicked for me. I mean, I love it. We didn't go into ratings, mine, for the last one, like MurderRock.
We don't need to rate movies anymore, Darren. We're beyond that.
Well, I'd give it a. I will say, I do want to say I'd give it a 7 anyway. But
You give MurderRock a 7?
yeah, I do.
Well, I
think
give it a
it's
7 as well.
best of the bunch, I think.
Yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 for sure.
But I know it's a bad film. I'm not, you know. do you
But
know what I mean? I
MurderRock?
don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to oversell it too
It's
much.
got
but-
problems. It does have some problems, man. But like, there's a charm to it. Like, there's like it's 1984, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a time capsule, you know, when I watch that shit. So
I think you've gone up on the because I remember talking about it when we did the Euro cult, and you
Mhm.
you were lukewarm on it. I think you liked it, but not to the extent. So it's probably gone up for you, yeah.
yeah,
MurderRock?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it took several watches, but yeah, it's gone up.
Okay. Well, I was going to say about Enigma, right? So you got that clip with the girl in the red dress.
hmm
I was getting big like Shelley Duvall fucking vibes.
Exactly,
Looked
same thing,
exactly
dude.
like her,
I was
man.
thinking of Olive Oil, you know.
Yeah.
And this is a co-production with Yugoslavia, right?
It is, yeah.
Which is odd. Like, you don't really hear that too much in the Italian films, you know.
I think at this point, like I think Fulci was kind of, his heyday is obviously gone, and so he would literally sign it. He needed the money. He had a big gambling problem, so he would literally, just take most things that come his way.
Right.
But this is a lot better than what you think it should be, considering where it comes in his career.
Yeah, I know that, like, the first time I saw this was a shitty print of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Blu-ray, like, man, it like jumps
It's
it up
fucking.
quite a bit.
I've got the download of that Blu-ray, and it
Yeah.
is like it looks fucking amazing. Like
Yeah.
probably better than like most of his films I've seen.
Right.
And that's what I like about that. It's got this blue tint throughout the film, and it really like got the use of colors and all that. Obviously, the girl with the red dress at the beginning stands out.
And that awful ass makeup, like, it's like,
Yeah, when she's in like comatose in the bed.
Yeah.
But in terms of so this was written by Lucio Fulci and Giorgio Zuzo. I can't pronounce his name. Cinematography was by Luigi Cinceresi. And he was well known, or kind of not so much well known, but he did Demonia. He did fuck up Demonia, actually. Troy was saying in his book on the cinematography. He did Zombie 4 After Death, Cruel Jaws, Snuff Killer,
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
He's the cinematographer for Terminator 2.
Yeah.
But not fucking Cameron's Terminator 2, right? He's fucking,
no, this was the knockoff Terminator 2.
Bruno Mattei.
Yeah.
Fucking, which makes sense. Makes all the sense. And then
it does if you look. Yeah, if you look at his filmography, it does make sense because he did scalps as well. Yeah, which is kind of like Fred Olin.
Body Puzzle though. He did Body Puzzle.
Did he do Body Puzzle? I haven't got that down here. But
no.
No, you're talking about the music.
I'm talking about the fucking score. My bad.
Yeah. Which we can come on to anyway. Carlo Maria Cordio did the score. Yeah. Man, the credits like Body Puzzle, Contamination
knockoff
7.
of Last Action Hero 2.
Right, yeah. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Contamination 7, I think.
Okay.
So Shocking Dark, Troll 2, Night Killer, Hitcher in the Dark, Beyond Darkness. There's a lot of fucking dark in these.
Dark.
Touch of Death, Witch Story, Witchcraft. There's a fucking theme here.
Yeah.
But I was amazed. Like Pieces, he did the music for Absurd and Murder Obsession. I mean, those 3 films alone, man. You gotta.
You talking about the score? Right
yeah.
So he also did Ghost of Sodom.
That's right. Yeah.
And you already said Touch of Death, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
he did Jaws knockoff as well, didn't he? Deep Blood.
I couldn't find a lot on Giorgio Mariuzzo, but there is a featurette on this edition from Severin. If you're interested, it's a pretty lengthy little interview with him.
Okay.
On there.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could really find was a movie called Apache Woman from 1976. He directed it as well.
Oh, right.
He wrote and directed that one, but
it's like a one and done then, literally.
But this got some pretty negative reviews. Like a lot of people were saying it was incoherent. It was had the hammy acting, right? Is sloppy sound editing, lack of suspense, not matching Fulci's other films. It's really only for diehard Fulci fans.
I completely disagree with everything there.
Yeah,
I actually think there's a lot of merit in this film.
I think you have fun with it, man. Like, I don't think it's just for diehards.
No, I think Daughter Silence is just for fucking diehards, and that would come
I think that is. Yeah,
this I would put this in the middle, like kind of Fulci's whole.
I'd put it right in the middle of his horror, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here. You know, it's not a masterpiece.
I gotta hammer that home, though. I gotta put that in the middle of his horror films because this was a journeyman director. I mean, he he did so many different genres. I mean, you're talking about dramas, period films, comedies. You know, he's mostly just known for the horror. You know,
and that's crazy, because he nailed every genre he went into. He got the comedies, the westerns. Yeah. He nailed out even like his crime film, Contraband. You know, he nailed that as well. So yeah, to call him a journeyman, I know, which was, well, you know, at the time was mentioned a lot. Right. Now it just seems a bit redundant to me because he's so much more, man.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that just to kind of explain that he did multiple genres. That's like the big argument between Fulci fans and Argento fans.
No, but you're right. You're spot on because he was classed as a journeyman. He didn't really get the praise until the end, like after his death, really, if you think about it.
Which happens to so many, right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because, like, I was listening to the interview. There's an interview on, I think it's MurderRock with Fulci. There's an interview, like, he's not on camera or anything, but what was he saying? He was saying something about so many people are considered, like, this is like pretty taboo to say today, right? Mm-hmm. But like, I guess he was saying like probably how he's going to be looked at as well. Well, I'm not going to say it. Just go check out that special feature, like, because I can't say it, man. I just can't do it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'll just say that it's not for today. I'll just say that. I get what he was saying, but
yeah,
I'm not going to repeat it on air. So I thought about it, but I was like, well, I better not do that shit. So
there's a few interesting names in the cast of this. Certainly one for sure. So it stars Jared Martin. He plays Dr. Robert Anderson. He was in literally, I was looking at his filmography. Every like US show you can imagine in the 80s and whatever, he was in. He was in all of it, man. Like all the like Heart to Heart and programs like that. He did star in Westworld as well, 1973, which I urge people to check out. That's like
you're on about Jared Martin.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because he's got that familiar face, like, you know.
He looks like the spitting image of Simon and Garfunkel, the fucking one guy in there.
Right.
I couldn't get my head around it. He looks exactly like that guy. I was like, shit.
He's campy as hell, like, you know, like, and this doctor, right? He's not like the what do you call it? Your regular hero in the film, right?
No, he's a fucking.
He's a scumbag.
It's hard to call. I was gonna say it's hard to call him a scumbag, but
well,
yeah,
you can't really call it. You can't blame him, really. Like,
no, he's in his I presume in his 30s or whatever, and he's knocking off all these young girls, which they're of age, they're legal age, so
they're in college, so
yeah. But like you say, you can't really knock the guy. But in terms of so you've got Lara Lamberti. She plays Eva Gordon, and she goes under her other name as Lara Nazinski, which is interesting because she was actually related to Klaus Kinski. She was his niece, and she was a cousin of Natasha Nazinski. The reason she didn't go on her original
name as Nazinski.
Well, Kinski's name was Nazinski, I think.
Okay.
So yeah. And I think he changed it. I'm pretty sure, when we did the show with Troy.
That makes sense.
But she didn't want to go under that name for obvious reasons, because she didn't want to be known as the actress, getting parts purely and simply because of her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she starred in Zombie 3, Demons 2, and there was a question mark by her, so I don't know what character she plays in Demons 2. A Blade in the Dark. She did go on and do Red Sonja with Sly Stallone and Bridget Nielsen, which was kind of blows your mind when you think about it.
It was big at the time. I remember.
Yeah. So she's an actress, writer, producer of Italian, Polish, and German descent. Born to artistic parents.
I was reading where she's in Troy's book where she was saying that she was like fluent in 6 different languages, I believe.
Yeah. She grew up in Germany as well. In the, that's kind of where she was kind of making a name going into all these Italian films in the.
Because he interviewed her, Troy did. So
he did, yeah. I've got, Actually, we'll mention that at the end of the film with the notes. But she worked in a lot of TV shows with the likes, for the likes of Sergio Martino, Tuccio Tazzari, and Carlo Lizzani. But yeah, like you say, she's just pretty much known for, I think, one of her main, for me, like unrecognizable her face is she plays a girlfriend in A Blade in the Dark.
Oh yeah,
the main character. I think it's Occo Pinti, the guy from New York Ripper.
I think I like her in this one a little more though, especially the scene where she's getting it on with Jared Martin.
She is, well, yeah. Is it okay to say this? Because she's of age, I will say.
Well,
she is one of the hottest fucking. Yeah, she's one of the hottest fucking schoolgirls you'll ever see, or like college girls you'll ever see.
I don't think you can spoil this film. I'm gonna ask you personally. Do you think that the character she's playing, do you think that's a real person?
Yeah. I believe. Yeah.
Because it's not made clear, really. It's like
the way I see it. And spoilers, right? Because we're probably going to mention spoilers for this one, but not even like you say, you maybe can't spoil it. But
Can't spoil this.
Early on in the film, she's clearly like in the first scene, or when she enters the school, she's possessed by this comatose girl in red, which we'll come on to. I'm actually jumping the gun a little bit, but so the opening, we're at St. Mary's College, a boarding school for girls, just outside Boston, Massachusetts. You've got that cheesy song, that plays Head Over. I think it's called Head Over Heels. Dreams Come True. It's the
Head Over Meals.
It does. Yeah, I was looking at. I don't know. Was that a fucking typo?
A typo.
Yeah,
it's a typo at the beginning of the movie. It says Head Over Meals.
I looked at that and I was like puzzled, and I thought, shit. But yeah, that's clearly a typo that come through on the actual main credits. You've got Kathy. She's this unattractive student, and she's being dressed up in this red dress to go on this date. A couple of like the fellow students are like dressing her up and getting.
You want to hear? You want to hear Fulci's description?
Go for it, man. Go for it. I think I know what you're gonna say.
It's funny as shit.
He doesn't hold back.
I couldn't help but laugh at this shit. He says, so Fulci describes this film. He says, it tells the story of an ugly-looking woman taking revenge when her karma enters the body of a beautiful woman.
I mean, yeah, that's Fulci for you, man. He
just don't hold back. Like he could say not attractive or no, he's just like this ugly-looking woman.
Right. So it kind of, do you know what I got the vibe of this? Right. I got a slasher vibe for this film because there's a lot of different death scenes like spread out over the film, and they're all intricate. Right. And we'll come into them. But so you've got early on, she's being dressed up to go on this date with this fucking sleazy gym teacher who teaches the girls. And he kind of loves himself. He's always fucking flexing his muscles, looking in mirrors and shit. Yeah. But, so he's getting it on with this Kathy in the car, so to speak. They're kind of kissing, or like he's leading her on because he's like this. It ends up being this big prank.
It's the Carrie prank, right?
It is the Carrie prank. So you've got all the students
twist because in Carrie, the guy didn't know that there was a prank.
Exactly. Yeah. This guy's completely.
He's a damn gym teacher, right?
Yeah. And he's about 5, 6, 7 years older than these girls.
Yeah, but all the girls look like they're in their mid-30s too.
They do, and they gotta do that, I think. Yeah.
Right.
It's got a very heavy Suspiria vibe phenomena.
Yeah.
Like, with the girls all in this boarding school. That guy I just mentioned is called Fred Vernon. And the film I see has been criticized for the blue tint, but I do really like that, like I said earlier. In terms of like the prank, so she kind of like this gym teacher kind of just starts laughing at her, and the headlights come on and all these girls are watching her, and they're driving after her. She goes running out the car, and she goes head on and full into like this truck or this other oncoming car. And then she's literally in a coma then for the rest of the film. Great opening. I think sums it up really well where this film's going. You can't take this too serious, I don't think, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
No, man.
It's just
when you get to watching it, you're not gonna take this shit serious at all. Like,
but it gives away the film. The film is given away in the first fucking like 2 scenes. So she
there's really no mystery to it.
There's not. She flatlines in hospital, and then she has like kind of this out-of-body experience. And you've got to laugh at that scene, man, because they use fucking miniatures for the hospital or the school or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you can clearly see it's just miniature fucking cars and shit. And I find that funny.
It makes me wonder though, have you seen Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé?
No, but I do have it up there.
Okay, because I wonder if he got inspired from this film. to make that film because it's more. It's got that same thing, like somebody dies and then you see them like rise, like they go out of the building and all, and they're like going around in the whole film, the whole entire film. It's like somebody lurking in spirit form, watching.
Okay,
people. Yeah,
that kind of interests me. Now you say that. It's definitely got. I've probably seen it in a slasher film as well down the line.
I'm pretty sure he would have been. This would, he would have seen this. I would imagine.
Oh God, yeah. All right.
In France or whatever.
Sure.
So
yeah, for sure. There's all these directors, they've all fucking seen Fulci, Argento, and all that. But yeah, so you've got Dr. Anderson. That's that Gerard Martin. He plays a doctor, very sleazy. Soon after, Eva Gordon arrives at the school. And like on entering the school, then is a dead giveaway to what's going on because we get a quick flash of Kathy walking into the school so she's literally Kathy as well, the girl in the red dress from the start.
Yeah.
That you just it gives it away completely, but
it does.
It doesn't spoil a lot for me.
No.
But she's well known, so she comes into school a little bit during midterm, and she's well known because she's had this big breakdown at one point, and that's why she's come into the school late. She's shown to a room, and all she wants to do is snog boys. She's interested in boys.
That's all she wants to do is get it on.
Clear, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Hot in the pants.
And she takes a liking to Fred, the fucking gym teacher I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts like fucking slapping girls' asses while he's doing classes with them. Like completely wouldn't fucking go today.
I showed that clip where he's slapped her.
Yeah.
He's like, if you saw the flab, I saw, or something. And then
can you imagine that going down today, man? Fuck me.
And then she's
and
like,
all these girls are like hot as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's but we do get to see, like you say, so Mary, Kathy's mother, she's a cleaner in the school, and she's like a very kind of weird looking character. We see her eyes glow red at times.
She kind of reminds me of In the Beyond. What's her name? In the Beyond?
I know the character you're on about. I can't think of her name.
She comes with the house with the hotel in the Beyond.
Yeah. She's definitely got that vibe.
Is it Margie? No, it ain't Margie.
I'm not sure.
I can't.
I know. I can see that. I can see the actress you're talking about.
But don't it look like the same character damn near?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm sure.
Except she's not like in the Beyond. That character's not like a mute or whatever the hell it is.
Right. And again, this is what reminds me of a slasher film because every like kind of good slasher film has got that one weirdo character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who's a big red herring, but
right.
But this, so you get the hunky gym teacher then, like you say, he's going round. Eva fakes this hamstring injury so she can get this gym teacher like to massage her, and they end up like pretty much talking, and they're gonna meet a bit later on in the night. And like you say, he's a piece of shit. He's just going with all these young kind of not dancers.
He's gonna get in where he fits in.
He is, yeah. So
shit.
But there's a great like murder scene at the beginning where he's literally flexing his muscles. He's looking in the mirror. But they do the whole doppelganger thing where he sees himself looking back at him and actually ends up killing himself, if that makes sense. I like all that shit, man.
And then that version of himself just goes off and vanishes into nothing, right? I don't know. It's
yeah, so it doesn't make complete sense.
It don't have to make sense.
No,
this one,
it's a Fulci film, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this one don't have to.
But we know early on that Eva's being possessed pretty much by the spirit of Kathy, with this like all the supernatural powers and telekinesis and magic going on. So literally, this Kathy is targeting all these people who played a prank on her, like the gym teacher, all the students, and they start getting off one by one.
Right.
but through Eva, which is kind of weirdly, you know, possessed. Caught me by surprise there. Eva kind of tells all the girls that she's like being stood up by Fred. But she heard these weird noises coming from his room when she went to meet him, as we know, you know, when he was being killed. And yeah, you've got all these young girls and all these different characters come into play. You've got Miss Jones, the head mistress. She's kind of weird as well because there's a story about her locking herself in with like one of the other teachers or whatever.
And I didn't write that actor the name down, but the woman that does the dub for that character did Daria Nicolodi's dub in Phenomena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, so there's this weird story going about that they heard weird noises coming from a room when she's in there with these other people. Like the girls find out Fred dead then while they're in class. You've got Virginia Williams. There's a great scene with her. So she ends up in the cafeteria and she says she doesn't like snails. Is snails an actual thing where you come from that they eat, Dirk? Because this is this based in Louisiana?
No, this is in Boston.
Oh, this is Boston. Okay, so this is America.
This is Boston, but like it's shot in Yugoslavia. But I know snails is a big deal, like in France.
Yeah, it's called l'escargot in France. But yeah, weirdly enough, none of this was shot in America. It was all shot in Yugoslavia, even though it's based there.
Right.
But she's got an interesting scene coming.
Now, Kathy and her and the janitor woman are supposed to be from New Orleans.
Okay, that's what I was. Yeah, that's
and then what's her name? Eva.
Eva, yeah, she slips up. Then she starts saying she's from New Orleans at one point.
Yeah, but then she cleans it up, saying that she stayed with her grandma that lived in New Orleans or something.
That's right, yeah. And we know by this point where it's going. Anyway, we know the actual twist.
Right.
But the snail scene is what I remembered when I first watched this film.
Right.
It's just so fucking gross, man, the way they do it. So she comes back a bit later on in the night.
Speaking of which,
oh, you've got it? Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Eva, what's wrong? Are you all right? Eva, what's happening? Is there anything I can do? Wake up!
That last little
Yeah.
segment's definitely the Beyond, right?
Yeah, man.
And
The snail segment as well is like tarantula like
yeah,
scene in the Beyond too.
right.
And it's a gross out scene, and like it's definitely one of the standout scenes. But
So
what?
I was listening to the commentary track though, like
Yeah.
with Nathaniel Thompson and Troy, and I think Nathaniel had mentioned that people were saying that she was getting raped by snails, like when that first came out or whatever.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Yeah.
like a snail rape or something, but then he was like he also mentioned that uh, they were saying the same thing with The Exorcist, the masturbating scene, which I never did understand that either. Like in The
Right.
Exorcist, that's not a masturbating scene with a crucifix. Like,
No.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah.
No, it's just a gross out scene. It's like memorable, obviously,
Yeah.
where she gets suffocated, isn't she, by these snails?
And that's what's funny
but-
too. Like you once you see enough of Italian films, right? It happens a lot in a lot of these films where people don't move, you know, they just stay put like they're frozen in fear kind of shit, you know.
Oh yeah, you would just
Like
get
the
up,
whole
wouldn't you?
seat, like the shit with the blood just we see the same shit in Hell of the Living Dead, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The same
yeah.
exact damn scene almost. Like the blood just she's like, just screaming, the blood's just dripping on her face. Like
I have to
get
agree
out of
with
there, you know?
like
Like
it's like I have to agree with Troy as well in the book where he says the first kind of elaborate scenes in this are great,
yeah.
and then halfway through they kind of just give up giving good like death scenes or whatever.
Yeah.
That museum scene is kind of odd, where this fucking like marble kind of statue comes to life and falls
Yeah.
on her.
Yeah, I left
It
that
is,
out. But
yeah, it is kind of doesn't live up to what's come before.
yeah.
But yeah, needless to say, you know,
Well, even in Blade in the Dark, like that woman that's running away in Blade in the Dark, and she goes and hides behind some fucking chicken wire, you know, like
yeah.
and then she don't and like she could back up a little bit, but no, she's right there where the killer can stab her and shit with the knife, you know, with the
Oh yeah, you see that
zip
a lot.
knife. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that a lot in these films.
It's just it's part of the charm though. I it's fucking hilarious. So
This is I know I've mentioned it a few times. It is like a revenge slasher film, isn't it? Really, if you think about it. But
yeah.
they're just rather than having a killer with a knife, you've literally got this girl possessed, and she's using telekinesis to fucking kill off these students one by one. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, with some of the like scenes Dirk showed there as well.
Yeah.
Kathy seems to be getting with every kill. She's like her brain activity seems to be going, and they can't work out. The doctors can't work out why, because she's literally brain dead. And then you've got. I do actually think the ending and the run up to the ending is kind of cool in this as well, which I guess we're not going to give too much more away. But it's
blow your mind.
Right, yeah, that's weird. That scene I always said last week.
Let me catch
but
the chat right quick, man.
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Let's see. Got Steve Mayers. He says, Dirk, Darren, and Flick friends. What's going on, man?
hey, what's up, man?
And let's see. Lauren says, yep, this Friday is the season 4 finale of Region Free, and you guys at Better Show, we need you.
We'll be there. We'll be there with clogs on, man. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll show up, man. I'm gonna try to. That's a lot of shit to get into, but like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm gonna like cherry pick, so I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I'll try and watch the first 3 or 4 Alien films.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch a couple of the Final Destinations in preparation.
Right.
I've got the new one, so I can watch that as well. And yeah, they got kind of a cool with the fathers in horror films as well. So I've got a few picked out for that too.
And Nicholas says,
Jaws is the other one, isn't it? Yeah.
There's no way Junji never saw Enigma, especially with all those snails.
Okay.
Junji Ito? I'm not familiar who that is. Do you? No.
No, I thought that was that guy you mentioned earlier, but
Okay.
not Enter the Void, is it? No.
Oh, Gaspar Noé? No.
All right, yeah, okay.
Let's see. And Chris knows who he is. It must be Japanese. I'm assuming. I'm not sure.
Has to be with that name.
Okay. Troy's commentary on Whosoever Dies quite good. Yeah, man, he always does a good job.
Oh man, he nails it on everything.
Nicholas says, funny you guys mentioned Fulci pulling from his own work. The book included with the Beyond 4K has an entire section dedicated to Fulci lifting from his own work. Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's kind of like this one's kind of well, where you got Agenda with Phenomena is kind of a greatest hits, isn't it? This one's got a greatest hits, but from different other films.
Well, you see these directors pull like, and I don't know if necessarily they are all of the time pulling from something else. Sometimes it's just a coincidence. I think, like somebody has the same idea, like on certain films. You know?
Oh yeah, it can't be true all the time. I agree.
Right.
Yeah,
on this one, I definitely think he was inspired from several different films, and but he does his own thing still though. Like it's not completely like you can say this is like Phenomena, but not really. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, just in terms of setting, I suppose, with the
setting, I guess would be like.
School.
But as far as the story,
yeah,
I think it's probably would be more like Patrick and Carrie in a way. You know?
It is, yeah. It's based, I would say, pretty much based on the Patrick character.
Yeah.
With the others kind of thrown in. This gives me the vibe of the Houses of Doom 2 films he did, House of Clocks, and that. It's got kind of that similar, for me anyway, like a similar vibe, similar look in a way. Obviously, those films are more low budget than this. This does look.
This is a little
higher.
This
looks like a fucking $1 million.
I would put this a little higher than
it is, yeah, in terms of quality and like of the film and the way it looks.
Right.
There's interesting scenes in this with the girl where she sees it forebodes her. So pretty much forebodes her death scene of her boyfriend where he gets decapitated by a window, and then she sees everywhere she goes, she sees this decapitated head of.
That's a funny scene though, like because they just got through having sex. So I guess she just got out the shower and she comes up and she's trying, I guess she's wanting to do it again. This is the vibe I was getting and trying to wake him up and shit. And
it's trippy, man. That scene, like
she's like, "Wake up!"
And like again with his Houses of Doom films, like it don't make a lick of sense, but you know what I mean. You're not in it for that, I don't think, at this point.
Right.
How did you think? How did you feel? Right, so you got this Dr. Anderson. He ends up with another girl, Jenny. She pretty much
that flip like completely derails and flips, don't it? Like it's like what the shit?
It goes into like some kind of like territory that just it's kind of weird.
It feels like there's a piece missing somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
very much so. Yeah, it does.
Like how the hell did that happen? Because this chick gets taken away from the college, sent somewhere else,
and she's writing him letters from a mental hospital she's in.
Mm-hmm.
But she comes back to school then. But he's already moved on with this other young girl, Jenny, and
he's already got some other fresh fish going on.
So you've got the gym teacher who's shagging all these young girls. You've got the doctor who and he's like kind of professional at first,
and he's also like, there's another chick that he's like eyeballing, like he knew her too. From before.
Like it's kind of weird, but I was going to mention, without giving anything away, I did like the ending to this, where it ends up with Crazy Mary at the hospital. I won't say what happens, but I think they did it really well. I kind of like where they went with it.
Yeah.
And it's a logical conclusion to end the story the way they do as well.
Right.
But this, I mean, I like this one a lot. This went up for me big time.
Yeah, man, I dig it a lot, man. It makes a world of difference with a better transfer. It really does.
Yeah, man. Like I say, it's night and day with this crappy DVD.
It really is, man. Like this went up quite a bit after seeing a better version of better copy, you know.
This and MurderRock mine looks stunning to look at in terms of visually, you know, with the prints they got of them and everything. Not so much the next one, but
And I can't speak on the '88 films version of Murder Rock, but I'm assuming it's probably the same transfer.
It's got to be the same transfer. It does come out next, like a week or two's time, the end of June, I think.
But Ercolani, he's doing the damn thing, dude, for Vinegar. I mean, for a lot of these labels, he's doing a lot of him and Troy and Nathaniel Thompson, man. They're killing it, dude.
They are absolutely fucking killing it, man. Every
big shout out to them guys, man.
And why the hell didn't
I'm gonna say we've reached like a little past the 2 hour mark. I just want to take a quick break. I'm gonna put something on right quick.
Okay.
But we'll be right back. Hopefully we don't lose nobody. So I'm gonna put something on real quick that I guess I'll play the I'll just go ahead and play the intro again until we get back.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. All right, we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay, man. We've gone over our running time, but I don't mind it. You know, this is going to be a longer show anyway. But yeah, you know, talking about Enigma, right? So Mimsy Farmer was due. I think they maybe wanted her to, when this film first got cast, I think she maybe might have been the headmistress, which would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I was reading all sorts of shit in Troy's book and Stephen Frower's. So this was the Argentinian title to this was Evil Boarding School. It was called Demonia as well on German DVD. But the Italian theatrical title Enigma as well is spelt with the A and the E together. It's kind of cool. But yeah, there's some decent kind of casting with this. So the guy who was in House of Witchcraft, I believe, the lead guy, he was originally going to be cast, I think, as the Doctor in this, but they went, obviously, you know, I think they went through different production changes, and then Mimsy Farmer and all that kind of, you know, got pulled. But this was kind of the death knell for Italian kind of horror at this time, 1987. I think, you know, you're talking, it only had basically a few years then until it completely almost died out, you know, the Italian horror film. I think Italian film in general was really down at this point.
Yeah, I mean, television destroyed the Italian films.
They did, yeah, they did. But this one, was released in France on the 30th of December, 87. And then it's got 3 different. So it was released in Rome separately to Milan. 1988, 1st of September, October the 7th. So it came out at all different times around Italy, but it didn't really get a mainstream kind of like release of any kind for a long time. There's a lot of interesting stuff about this with, like I said, with the cast. At one point they were gonna cast Roberto Cerezi, aka Jan Keller, and he was going to be in the role of like this reincarnated witch, was going to be involved in the plot. I don't know whether that character got, they Crazy Mary, maybe, I don't know, for that character, but it's kind of weird. All sorts of different things going
it's
on.
Like a greatest hits of a lot of different films.
It really is. Like I said, the film's releases were sporadic. The film was selected for the Avaraz Film Festival in 1988 and scored like a couple of dates across Europe theatrically, but nothing more than that. I don't know. I dig it, man. I do dig this one. I think it's got a lot to offer. But don't go in expecting anything like The Beyond or Haste by the Cemetery or any of his
ones. But I mean, you could put it right there with House of Clocks, and
it is on that kind of.
I'll say
slightly above them. I'd say.
I would definitely. It's definitely I don't know, man. I don't know if it's above House of Clocks for me though. I don't know.
You really like that one, I remember. Yeah.
I think it's definitely above Sweet House of Horrors. Though. Holy shit. Yeah.
I like that one. See, I'm weird.
I don't like that movie. Like, I just don't. I don't know. That's not my. It's my least favorite of the 4 of those. So.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, man. Having different opinions.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole.
It is mid-table though, isn't it? In terms of Fulci's films, it is mid kind of table. You could do a lot wrong than watching this one. You could certainly do a lot wrong. You could watch something like fucking Door to Silence or
which we're fixing to talk about.
Yeah.
This one's pretty damn. I mean, I gotta admit, I fell asleep when I was watching this shit. Like,
I'm gonna have a different take on Door to Silence. I'm not gonna completely shit all over.
No, I mean, I was tired though. I've been busting my ass all week, But I put it on and I did fall asleep. It is kind of, to sum up the film, like, I know we're going to get into it and everything, but it's really not a whole lot going on in this movie, Door to Silence. It's a guy riding around. The only thing that holds my interest for me is a couple things, but the main thing is all the Louisiana settings.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that stuff.
When I see like New Orleans and you got the jazz and people in the streets and shit and all that shit's cool. But as far as, I don't know, man. And I know Fulci wasn't a fan of this one either. So
I don't think many people were. Just one point I want to make about Enigma was they were due to do a sequel. Back in, I think, 2012, it was gonna have the same characters, the Doctor and Eva. They actually told the actress as well, Nasinski, to that this was gonna happen. I think by 2014, where she does the interview in Troy's book, nothing came to it, obviously. But that was I would have kind of liked to have seen that. But yeah, that's that one. For me, Enigma is 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
And I would have said it was like a 5 or maybe a 5.5 before I seen it this time.
Yeah.
Door to Silence. Yeah, this is fucking.
I give Enigma a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, so roughly the same as me.
Yeah.
Kind of goes down in quality with these 3 films. So for me, you've got like a 7 MurderRock, 7.5, I should say, and then a 6.5. This one is an interesting film.
Why not 7 3/4, Darren?
Well, maybe next time I watch it.
I heard somebody the other day talking about 7.67 or some weird shit, and I was like,
"Oh shit,
the hell are we doing now, man?" So it's like the Weatherman now. like the weather now. I don't know if it's like that over there in the UK, but it used to be, 10, 20, 30,
Yeah.
percent. Now it's 17%.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You know,
I don't
27.
know how that fucking works with ratings, but 6.9
I
or
don't know what
something.
the hell happened. Yeah.
But yeah, this one's interesting. It's Fulci's last ever film. There's some good stuff in it, which we'll come into. There's some really bad stuff.
I don't like the actor. I gotta admit, I don't like that guy.
So Troy was saying in the book, right, that this guy completely fucking. So his name's John Savage. He plays Melvin Devereaux.
Yeah.
Troy said he completely like fucking phones in the whole performance. I didn't think
so,
it was
dude.
that. I didn't think it was that bad.
I think he does. I started to do a clip, but then I was like, dude, I'm not doing clips for this movie.
There's nothing to fucking show unless you show a guy driving around.
Well, there's only two things, I guess. You can show the scene with the hitchhiker chick.
That's a great scene. I did like that.
Kind of, and then the hearse scene, but like
there's a few. I like the church scene. We'll come into it, but I do like a few things. So, produced by Joe D'Amato from a short story by Fulci, I believe. And Fulci didn't want to do this at all. I don't even think Fulci was convinced of his short story, to be honest. But Joe D'Amato just kept on to him, like,
right.
Oh,
yeah,
we'll film it.
This is
We'll
what
film it.
this is what Fulci said. He said, this guy breaks my balls the whole film. He is difficult for everyone. I tell Massachusetts, I will kill this John Savage. In New Orleans, it's raining all the time. Savage says, we'll shoot regardless. I say, Savage, you are mad. He makes us shoot so that nothing makes sense when we finish. Massachusetts says it's a good film. I say it's a flop. You'll still pay me, but it's a flop.
And Massachusetts is Joe D'Amato's like pseudonym, or that is original name.
That's his real name, but D'Amato's his pseudonym.
Yeah. But this guy, John Savage, the guy you just mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at his filmography, right? So he did Followed in 2018, Bereavement 2010, Tales of Halloween. But he did do some good films, man. He did The Deer Hunter in 78.
Oh, The Deer Hunter is good. It's
Godfather 3.
Okay.
He did All the Kind Strangers in 1974.
I'm not big on Godfather 3, though. Like,
he did a lot of TV as well. He did The X-Files. He did The Outer Limits.
Right.
He was connected in some way to Spike Lee as well. So he was like production manager on Malcolm X. And he did star in Summer of Sam, which I like a lot. 1999 film.
Yeah, I like that movie.
But yeah, he's kind of, you can see he's like fucking annoying as a person, like just the way he is in this film.
Yeah.
And you can see that coming across in real life too as well. So Fulci hated him, like you say, he didn't like working with him at all.
No. He wanted to kill him. So
he did, in terms like the cinematography is a guy called Giancarlo Ferrando. And he did a lot of good stuff, man. He obviously did Troll 2. I'm saying that's good, by the way.
Shit.
I know, I realized what I fucking said there.
Yeah. So I got to say this, though. So Fulci, this is Fulci's only film that his name's not used. And his name is Jerry Madison.
Right, yeah. I think there's two pseudonyms. That's his writing credit. Jerry Madison.
Yeah.
His directorial credit is another name as well, which I've got.
But so he said, this is what he said about it. He said, and it wasn't his choice either. So he says it was the fault of a woman with shitty breath, a despicable being called Lucaroni. She told Aristide that in this moment, Fulci isn't fashionable. Let's call him Simon Kate. Even the Japanese asked me to explain about the matter. She isn't working for Massachusetts anymore. Ha!
Yeah, And he doesn't hold back, does he, on anything he says? It's a woman with fucking horrible breath.
He said
and
a
shit.
woman with shitty breath.
Yeah. And she was connected with Joe D'Amato as well. I think she worked with Joe D'Amato's wife.
Yeah.
Too. But going back to that cinematographer, he did do some good stuff, man. He did fucking Torso, Your Voice is a Locked Room, All the Colors of the Dark, The Violent Professionals.
Well, you
Laura
see, there's no
Martino's.
money in this.
There's not. No.
There's no money in this.
I think Troy says it well, doesn't he, when he says this is like a Twilight Zone episode, even though I think that's too fucking high praise for this.
Yeah, it's worse than that.
This is like an 8 the Limits, I think, a best type episode.
Maybe, what's that other shit that was back in the day? Damn, I can't.
There's a few of them in there. There's quite,
It was
fucking.
pretty bad. I won't say
The Unknown, is it, or something like that?
some weird off-brand shit, not Tales from the Dark Side, but
It's even below that, I would say, yeah. But in terms of like, and we'll just briefly go on to like the story and what have you. So
yeah,
the opening, you see this sun going down and there's this full-on car crash and it's at 7:29 p.m., which is kind of a promise. I like the idea, man. I gotta
like
be
the
honest,
idea,
I really do like the idea.
I like the idea. See, this is Fulci's last film, and there's several films where Fulci keeps playing with that idea of time
and death. Yeah,
and death.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The storyline to this is, I just don't know how much you want to give away about this one, but
No, I don't want to give it away because I want people to check it out.
It becomes quite prominent early on anyway.
Yeah.
But needless enough to say, so you've got this guy. It's set in New Orleans, Louisiana as well. Dirk's part of the world.
That's what got me through it. I'll just say that.
I would definitely say the locations are great. Yeah,
I would have got through it
agree.
anyway because it's Fulci. You know what I'm saying? But
I didn't find it a chore to actually watch, to be honest. Like, I did actually watch it in 2 parts, but that's not because I found it boring. It's because I was getting tired the one night. But then I watched the first half hour. The next night I watched the end hour, and it fucking flew by. And when I was doing notes, it kind of flew by for me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm.
There's not a lot going on, though. You got to admit.
No, you've got this Melvin Devereaux. He's attending the funeral of his father to begin with. There's this woman shows up that he doesn't know, but she clearly knows him. And then, you get a kind of cool scene, actually. You get the credits play, and you see that fucking bridge from the Beyond.
It's
worth watching just for that.
It's the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge, which is it used to be the biggest bridge in the world. It's like 22 miles, I believe.
It's awesome, man, just to see that footage.
It's like 22 miles long. And back in the day, there used to be a payphone every mile on that bridge. So if you broke down on the bridge,
you'd always have a
Yeah. So every mile there was a payphone,
And I think I remember Christian Tanahara saying that bridge is really fucking packed all the time. There's cars going back and forth.
It is.
But that shot where Fulci's in the director's chair,
sitting in the director's chair,
the fucking wind going through his hair.
Yeah.
It looks dead, man. Whether they shot, even if they shot that at 5 a.m. or something, or 6 a.m.
I don't see how. I still don't understand because
because you would have.
It looks like it's in broad daylight.
Yeah, you would have had cars going back and forth, surely, even at that time, unless
they must
were
have
doing
shut it
maintenance
down
work. Yeah, maintenance work maybe. But I did, just little things like that. I do enjoy in this film. But there's a massive clue early on as well where he sees his dad in this car and he's watching, and there's little clues like that, and you will literally work this out within what would you say, Dirk? Half hour, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I figured it out pretty quick. Yeah. But what I wanted it to do, it didn't do. That's what's disappointing to me.
But there's no real effect. There's no effects.
There's no special effects. There's really not a lot going on.
Is it a horror film? No, maybe not.
I think it's more like a a thriller, like maybe a I don't know what you call it, suspense,
I know what you
mystery.
mean. Kind of like
I don't
some
know.
of those early like TV films of the 1970s.
Yeah.
But it's obviously at one point we got a hearse comes into play, which keeps reoccurring. He can't pass this hearse. All that shit was based on fucking Jewel. It must have been Spielberg's
Well,
Jewel.
also I get the vibe of like I think that's when I figured it out when he's trying to get around that hearse and he can't.
Well, yeah.
I think
No,
that's when it clicks for me. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
I
This
think
makes
I
sense.
worked it out early on at the funeral was for me where it
Yeah.
clicked. And there's a picture of what seems to be his wife in the car. And it's kind of easy then to work out everything that's going on.
But what I wanted the film to do, it didn't do. Like what I expected it to do, it didn't do, which I thought would have been a better twist. But I won't say it because I know a lot of people haven't seen it. But you can watch this on YouTube. Anybody, it might be on Tubi too, but I know it's on YouTube for sure.
There's the DVD prints on Realus as well if you want to download it from there. So yeah, it's pretty much an hour and a half of him driving around, and all like pretty much all the kind of there's floods in the area and all the roads are blocked, and like he got this thing going on with this reoccurring hearse. He thinks he can see his name on the coffin. And we get some weird scenes where he goes into this church, this small like church, and you've got all the people attending a funeral, and he's trying to break open the coffin and stuff like that.
Trying to see who's in the coffin.
Yeah, kind of interesting. There's a few little scenes that are kind of interesting throughout. Not too much though. But yeah, you've got the scene with the woman as well that turns up at the start of the film.
That's what I'm saying.
She meets up with him and they go to like this hotel. So he's this sleazy character as well. Twice he almost cheats on his wife with the hitchhiker at the end as well, which he technically does cheat. But that's kind of a funny scene where he can't get it up. And you got this hot kind of hitchhiker he picks up.
Yeah, she's like the biggest slut in the world.
Yeah. He takes like $50 off him. And but yeah, I don't really want to say too much about the actual film because you don't want to give too much away. It's definitely worth watching as a Fulci fan, like knowing it's his final film. It's not half as bad as what people make it. I don't think. I know Dirk feels the opposite. He does feel it's bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad. I know it's a bad film. I'm not stupid. I'm not delusional like that. I do know it's a bad film, but I got something from it. Like I got something from Dracula fucking 3D Argento, I do, but you've got to look hard for some of the stuff. It could have been a really great. I don't know what Dirk's
the idea is great.
I don't know what Dirk's idea was going to be later on. Like,
the idea behind it's good. It's just the execution. And
the execution.
I mean, like Fulci said, he knew it wasn't going to do well, and he didn't even want to make the damn thing.
Well, the company that produced it was Joe D'Amato's Film Mirage. And they were on their last legs by the time this was being made. I think they did another 5 films after.
Yeah.
And Joe D'Amato was the one that pushed for this. And you could have easily put this into like 20-minute episode or 30-minute like short or something. And fair play to Fulci, he did actually say that this is gonna flop. This is gonna be bad. But I guess, he needed the money as well, Fulci, at the time.
But I think he's right on, dude. I think he's dead on with the John Savage guy, man. I don't like him either.
I know he's really unlikable character in the film, but you can tell, like I said, you can pick up the fact that he's probably like that.
I don't think he's a good actor, though. Like, I don't
think he phones it in. I do. You got to realize that he's given, like, not much to go on. Because the whole film is based around him and he's got to react to all these different situations. For me, I think he does an okay job. I'm not going to go nuts and say he's great or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm in the minority. I know with that. I know because
I think that's what hurts it for me is that guy. So
I think Thrower didn't like him either. I like don't like the film at all. Is it, don't go out and spend your hard-earned money on it or anything. I think there's
And
one.
even the hitchhiker chick, I think she sucks, but I think she's even better than John Savage. Like,
oh shit,
yeah, like, I mean, she's awful. I don't know, man. Like, but
no, the reoccurring woman as well in the red fucking car. She's probably does a better job, I guess, but I don't know. There's not many characters in this anyway.
No, the guy with the washboard.
Yeah.
And you see the Times Picayune newspaper.
Right. Yeah.
That's a New Orleans, I think Baton Rouge as well, but that's the newspaper New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, because he goes to the blind guy, doesn't he, to pick up.
Yeah, with the guy with the washboard, he's like playing the washboard thing. So
I will. What did you think about the actual scene right towards the end with the fucking clairvoyant? I actually think that was done pretty well. To where I think she might be. He looks her up. Is she a member of his family? And she reads.
I know
his palm
she reads his lifelines on his hands.
Yeah. I think
I saw that coming though. Really? I saw it coming. Like I already knew.
Oh, you know by that point what the outcome.
I mean, I saw what I knew what she was gonna say though. Like.
Yeah, but did you know the way that was going to end for her? Though I didn't work that one out.
No, I didn't see that coming. But
so yeah, there's bits in there. There's there's 3 or 4 scenes I would say worth watching, but as a whole, no. So getting on to titles and stuff because I've been reading obviously the Stephen Thrower books. This was called different titles. It was called Door to Silent. In the Eureka Film Festival trade advert. The Enigma of Death, it was called in Argentina. It's kind of interesting, I suppose. Again, that probably gives a little bit away that shouldn't. The original Italian title was La Porta del Silenzio. This one didn't do anything really. They couldn't even sell it, could they, Dirk? They tried to. Oh, you made me jump then, man. I physically jumped then when that fucking. You see Fulci coming at you with a fucking machine gun is not good. Like me, man, you don't want to see a heart attack live on stream. Although I guess that would be kind of interesting for people. You're good, man.
You thought about it.
You're good, man. No, they tried to sell this film, but they couldn't. They couldn't even sell it fucking abroad and all that. It did have a London Eurofest screening on the 11th of December 1994. But I mean, yeah, the DVD didn't come out. You could not see this in America for like the late 2009, maybe 2010.
2009, I think, is what.
Yeah,
I think that's what.
Come out. Wasn't it a Severin release DVD?
I think I'm not sure. I think I heard that from Nathaniel Thompson though. I think he said 2009.
Yeah, 2009 Severin release, I believe.
Right.
But yeah, this one I would imagine they'll get this out on Blu-ray at some point, just for like Fulci complete this, and people will buy it because of the name.
Oh yeah, I'd get it.
I get it because of the backstory, maybe, and like.
Hopefully, they'd have some features on there.
Well, that's the main reason to get it. To get like an audio commentary. I'd like to see an interview with that fucking John Savage as well, just to see what he thought, because obviously he didn't get on with Fulci, so it'd be interesting to see what he says.
Hear his side of it.
Yeah, because there's always 2 sides, as you know, so everything. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you've got anything else you want to say. I know Fulci is so bad that Fulci did the fucking special effects himself.
Yeah, this is in 91, so like, and this is another film that's dealing with kind of like a man trapped inside a nightmare in a way, and like dealing with death and time. And Fulci's he's at he's it's on his mind constantly. Death.
It is, yeah.
And he's near his end. He's he's only like 5-6 years away from death.
It is. He did Voices from Beyond as well. I've never seen just before this film.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting one when we next do Fulci, because we'll get around to doing everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird, like you say, like
House of
knowing
Clocks, the
Fulci
same
was, yeah.
with
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
time, death,
Yeah.
yeah. But knowing
I think about
Fulci,
time a lot too, though, man. The
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 older
older
you
I get,
get,
yeah,
I do all the time, man.
right.
That's why I was saying when we was doing the last region 3. I don't know if it was on screen or whether we was chatting afterwards, but like Lorne mentioned, you've only got a certain amount of fucking time on this planet. You don't really want to waste your time watching shit that you've watched before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm trying to watch newer, even
Well, that's me, man. I can't
older
be
films
watching
that
the
I've never
same shit
seen.
over and over and over. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean, Friday the 13th's coming up, and I've not seen those films. I know them off by heart anyway. Halloween.
yeah.
I've not seen those films for like 5 years now.
Right.
But yeah, I'm in my 50s now, so I'm trying to watch all the fucking older Italian stuff I've never seen.
Right. There's
And
plenty.
concentrating
There's
on that.
so much more to see. So.
Oh yeah, you'll never see any. No one will ever see any fucking everything. That's the one thing. Alan put in the comments saying that Dirk scared him too, so it wasn't just me. The fucking jumped.
Let's see. Let me catch some of these comments here.
Yeah,
Chris says
go
that Fulci book from Thrower and Amazon seller, $200. No thanks. I will wait.
Oh fuck, man! You could have got that literally 2 or 3 years ago for 20 pound on UK Amazon.
Right. Well, there's other ways to get it, I'm sure.
If you can pick it up, I'd say even for like 40 or 50 with a hardcover, it's worth it, man. It is.
Nicholas says Door in the Silence definitely still up on YouTube. Yep, definitely is. That's how I saw it. That's how I watched it. So.
Yeah, and it looks terrible as well. Like even the DVD version looks bad. Like just
right.
And it was shot with real audio as well. It wasn't dubbed or anything. It was done with all real audio.
Right.
Would you? Yeah, I love that. Would you say this is kind of like Fulci's, what David Lynch is with Dune? This is like Fulci's kind of that way type of thing. Very low budget, very kind of.
Yeah, but Dune was way bigger production and all that. I know, but yeah, I mean,
do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you mean, though. Yeah, he hated it. Yeah, Fulci hated it.
Yeah.
But there's a few films that Fulci didn't like that he did, so.
And didn't one Dune filmed on like almost like fucking like one camera or like a really shitty camera or whatever? And I get that with this film looks terrible. Like Film Mirage is well known for like doing very low budget stuff. But this looks worse than all the other stuff Joe D'Amato did.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty rough, man. It's like,
You fuck. Look, it could be a pile of shit out of somebody's asshole.
I was going to say, right, so D'Amato's well known for going on and doing hardcore porn. And it almost got that fucking look to the fucking camera quality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, man, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, man. I mean, there's not much you can really say more about Door into Silence.
Right. I'm glad we covered these three, though. Like,
I am gonna like rate it though, and I am gonna like shock you probably.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 5, like maybe a 4.5.
Yeah.
To a 5. So
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'm being generous.
I'm gonna give it a generous 2 and that's only because of Fulci and D'Amato.
And Louisiana, of course.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Well, maybe it'll get a 2.5 because of that. So.
Yeah. No, I can't argue with you, man.
It's pretty bad, but I would own it though, just to check it out again.
You've got to fucking own everything.
Maybe a cleaned up version would be better. I don't know, but that print on YouTube is shit, But
yeah, decent commentary track. I mean, I'll watch it again if that. I won't go out of my way to watch it unless it does come out a new version, really. And once you've seen it, you kind of know what's going on, the twist and everything. It just becomes redundant again. You don't really want to go back. There's no reason to. But yeah, it looks like I'm shitting all over. I'm really not.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's not hard. So
Yeah,
like
these 3 films, they all like, you know, you got
Yeah.
a 7, a 6, and like a 4. So they
well, for
kind
me,
of go
it's a 7, a 6, and a 2. So
But at the end of the day, it's Fulci. If people want to check it out, I would say, you know, don't buy it. Just go to YouTube and
yeah, because I don't buy into that. You know, like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I don't care whose name's on it. You know what I mean?
oh, I do. I think if it's fucking Argento Fulci, I'll buy.
No, I'm saying I'm like as far as rating it. You know, like
Oh, okay, yeah,
if it's
yeah.
a shit film, it's a shit film. That's just how it is.
No, exactly. That's well, I take pride in the fact that we just say how we fucking think, man. I think people respect that.
Yeah.
We've had comments before saying like we just keep it real, but you do get different YouTubers that'll fucking lie for some
Yeah,
reason, or
and
they
big
got
it up
different
and shit.
agendas. Yeah, they got genders in these different films too. But
But
no,
yeah,
I
man,
enjoyed it, man.
We'll be on Region Free next Friday, and we're gonna have Tex on back on the Eurocrypt. He's gonna be on the Eurocrypt for the first time, I think, right?
I know he did one of the versus streams, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna be on the Eurocrypt though.
Oh, Eurocrypt, yeah, be the first.
So we're gonna be covering some Killer Kid films.
Yeah, I've not seen any of them. I might have seen clips. No. So I've not seen Who Can Kill a Child.
Yeah, Who Can Kill a Child? The Brood.
I've not seen The Brood, believe it or not.
The Brood, and then The Children, which
The
is
Children. Yeah.
And The Children's big nostalgia for me when I was a kid, man.
I've seen the trailer. I've seen where the school bus goes under this nuclear cloud
that
or
fucked
whatever.
me up, dude. I saw it late night on cable television at my next door neighbor's house.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because we didn't have cable yet, so that's just big nostalgia for me. I think everybody was asleep too. I was staying the night, and I stayed up and watched that shit and scared.
Oh,
the
it's
shit
good
out.
when you've got memories like I got memories like that.
Yeah, like
too.
6 years old, shit. You know, watching The Children. So,
but I'm looking forward to that show because certainly like 2 of those films come in very fucking high regard. The first 2, so
yeah,
I can't believe I've never seen The Brood, but yeah.
I'm gonna see how good the Children holds up, and you know, compared
and
to
that's one I'm not expecting too much, if I'm honest.
Well, compared to my 6-year-old mind, you know. So.
Yeah, as long as it's entertaining, that's all you can ask for, really.
Right.
Yeah. So keep a lookout for that, guys, next week. But definitely Region 3 on the Friday.
So we got a packed week coming up, man. That's a lot of shit to watch. So
yeah, I'm gonna be starting literally fucking tomorrow now on these films for that.
Got to. But
I
appreciate everybody in the chat.
Yeah, definitely, man.
If you like what we do, man, consider subscribing. Hit the like button, man.
And don't be strangers, man. Leave like little comments for under the video after this goes up.
What's your favorite Lucio Fulci film?
Exactly, what your favorite
or what's your
film
least
is.
favorite? You know,
what if you've got any ideas that you want us to do in the future, films to cover, directors maybe. Yeah, just don't be shy, man. Just leave comments. It's nice to know that people, you know, are watching this and getting enjoyment for some of these streams. And we want to, do you know what I mean? We want to know who's watching and get, like, personally, because we answer every kind of comment as well, me and Dirk.
We answer every comment. No doubt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, man, we're going to get out of here. Y'all have a good week. And, you know, just... Keep it real out there, you know. I don't know. You got any wise words for the people?
No, just watch some Fulci. That's my only
Never
words.
trust a fart. I'll say that. So
have a good one, guys.
We're out of here, man.
Lights are fading, everything distorts. Strung out time blurs, cut like a report. Mind flashing fast in reels of abstract. This is our escape. There's no turning back.
I actually don't need to see visual. What I know is in that film.